We're recording.
Welcome to my domain. I mean the Smash Brothers podcast. So, thank you to Chloe for showing up. So, I'm Grant. I'm the schmuck who came up with a crazy idea to have a podcast about Smash. And so, joining me today is... Guys, or Guy, we'll start with you.
Hi, I'm Guy. I'm hosting this. I'm happy to be here. It hasn't been a while since I've been in a podcast.
Hi, I'm JohnMichael. I'm the newbie for the podcast.
And I'm Daniel, or more frequently known by my alias, Darius Pence, and I'm one of those old FE fans who went and abandoned the internet for a while, but I come back for cool things like this. Thank you, Grant, for inviting me, and thanks, Guy, for having me be part of your channel for today.
You're welcome. Alright, cool. So, today we're here to talk about the Smash Brothers podcast, or Smash Brothers franchise.
So, wait, we're going to talk about the podcast.
Well, having a
podcast. Podcastception.
This is just the teaser trailer.
Here I thought I woke up today already.
So, yeah, we're going to talk about the Smash Brothers franchise. We've got some awesome things in store. But the best place to start is at the beginning. In this case, how we were introduced to the Smash Brothers franchise. Guy, I believe you're up first.
Yes. Okay. So, for me, I think it was when I was probably in 4th or 5th grade. Yeah, that sounds about right. And a lot of the people I knew at school, friends and acquaintances, were getting GameCubes and Wiis and got Melee. And of course, everybody flipped out about it. It's the greatest thing ever. Everybody wants to play Melee. And I would sometimes go and try to play with those guys, because I didn't have a GameCube.
Oof.
To varying degrees of success. So, some people, even at that young age, got very, very engrossed with it. Like, no, this is my thing. So it was hard to be able to go and play with people, but it wasn't all bad.
If you don't mind my prodding question, what was your familiarity with Nintendo franchises at that point in time? Did the roster have an appeal to you?
The Pokemon characters, yeah. I grew up playing basically Pokemon and nothing else.
That's fair.
So I didn't really care about
Pokemon
anything
had
else.
just come to the West. And
oh, hey, that's Pikachu. There's Mewtwo. Hell yeah, let's go.
All right, cool, dude. I guess DRP can go next unless you have anything else to say, Guy.
No, I'm good.
DRP?
Oh.
Sorry, I had to step off for just a very second there, deal with my cat. Am I supposed to go?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I began Smash Bros. In the beginning. We are coming up on the 20th anniversary of this franchise in the West. And I've always been a Nintendo guy. Super Nintendo, had that. N64, I was all about Nintendo games. I don't really remember getting Smash 64 when it first came out or anything. I do recall playing with some friends from school and their neighborhood friends and getting really excited playing it. And you know, I had tried other other fighting games. There was Tekken back then at the laser tag arcade and things like that. Smash Bros. Is something different. You didn't have to memorize a whole bunch of button combinations. You're just playing a Mario game, except you get to hit people. It's pretty fantastic. So yeah, I've been playing Smash Bros. Since the 64, and it's been one hell of a ride. Incredibly impressed. We even got the most recent iteration. I thought Daddy Sakurai was done after 4. So I think it's fantastic that we're able to discuss this franchise when there are still new entries being added.
Yeah, I didn't think Ultimate was gonna get made. And then it got made, and I'm like, oh wow, it has everything.
Oh, that explains why Smash 4 wasn't rebalanced enough time.
Yeah,
It seems like pretty much every entry Sakurai's like, this will be the last one, and then a couple of years later, okay, here's the next one.
Yeah, it's always
it'll
like,
never be
oh,
the
I'm
last
so
one.
done. I'm so done. Here you go.
It reminds me of this guy named Miyazaki who's kind of like that. He's like, this is the last movie I'm gonna make, and then he comes out with another one. He just doesn't know when to quit.
Those old
All right,
Japanese
I'm up
dudes,
next.
man.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I'm up next, and like DRP, I was introduced to Smash via Smash 64. I had a friend by the name of Eric Miller who had it at his place, and I was just like, whoa, what the heck? It's a fighting game that has, like, all these Nintendo characters, and he's like, yeah, you want to play it? And I'm like, I don't know how. So he showed me how. He was a Falcon main. I was Samus. He started the trend of me always coming across talented Falcon mains. So...
So to you,
Yeah.
he wasn't so much the people's champion as that obstacle you constantly have to hurdle.
Pretty much. And so I played Smash 64, and then I remember getting this Nintendo Power magazine for Melee, like, it had all the characters, all their movesets, the names, and like the damage percents, and that really got me wanting to play Melee. So I think that's when my Smash fandom like really took out over, and then pretty much from there, the rest is history. But them Falcon mains, every Nathaniel Bandy time.
My brothers won. Spirit of fatality.
Yeah. So that's
All right,
my-
new guy. How'd you get in the franchise?
Well. When the first Smash game came out, I was barely a speck in my mother's stomach. So, because I think it came
I
out
don't
like
think that's how the adage goes, but I approve.
because I think it came out like very early, 1999. I was born September '99. So my
Little 90s kid,
introduction.
let's go.
So my introduction to the franchise was with Melee, and from a very young age, from like as young as I can remember, I was just playing Smash with my brother, maybe semi-frequently playing it with some friends from school. Then of course I remember when my brother came home and he brought Brawl, I was so hyped, and we just stayed up all night playing the story together. But my really real introduction to the franchise, where I was actually aware of its existence, was when Smash 4 came out. Everybody was on the hype train for that. Smash on 3DS? What is this? Portable Smash game? It's unheard of. So yeah, that's pretty much my introduction with the franchise.
That's quite an introduction.
Yes, it is.
All right then. Moving on to our next question. Who do you guys main and why? So, JohnMichael, once again, here.
Ooh,
Back to back
lovely.
on this one.
Okay, so I mainly use 3 characters in Ultimate, since that's, the most recent one. But my most used is Richter Belmont, because I love Castlevania Rondo of Blood. I've wanted, in Smash, since before Smash 4 came out, because, I didn't think we'd ever get any other Belmont, but then they made Echo Fighters a thing, and they revealed Richter for Ultimate, and I put it very briefly, I freaked out, audibly freaked out. Remember, I was home alone the day that stream was airing, so I just remember just running around my room in hype, when Richter was revealed, so I was like, alright, I'm using him. And on top of that, he's just a really fun character to use. All the projectiles, the whip, of course, long range is super fun. Yeah.
Is it wrong for me to hope that we get more people on this stream who are salty about the Belmonts? Because that would be fun for me.
I would love that too.
I mean, really, like, coming from a Belmont maid, Belmonts aren't really, like, hard to beat. Because all you gotta do is just get in on them, and they're done pretty much.
Ah, it's so unfair. They can edgeguard. You can edgeguard them?
If you, like, just tap them while they're off stage, they're basically dead.
Yeah, if anything, my one complaint is that their recovery sucks.
Yeah,
I mean, hey, they weren't known for their, like, great air movement in the Castlevania games. They're, like, stiff as rocks.
Who needs
they're
air movement
more
when you're
mobile
killing
in
bats?
Smash than they are in their own games.
Yeah, honestly.
Who needs air movement when you have an assault Bible, right, Grant?
I mean, Richter, like, his movement's, like, kinda accurate to Symphony of the Night, because he was a friggin' acrobat in that game.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that double jump strats were awesome. And I agree with Chloe on this one. Get good, dumbasses. Like,
Yep.
Belmonts aren't bad. Like, I'm kind of surprised they're the characters that people get salty about.
People also got really salty about K. Rool.
Oh,
I love K-Rool.
K-Rool's,
He's
pardon my French, he's fucking awesome.
And like, I understand the K. Rool salt a little more than I understand the Belmont salt. Maybe that's just my personal experience, but I still don't think it ever got to
because
the point
the
where
skill cap to pick him up is really low.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't see why that's a bad thing. It just we finally have heavy characters who feel right. Why are we complaining?
I know, right? Like,
Ironic that K. Rool and Belmont are the characters people are most salty about. They were revealed in the same stream.
I guess some Smash fans are
Fate.
just never gonna be happy no matter what they get.
Yes.
I mean,
Smash fans being happy? That's a funny one.
Wah wah Waluigi Wambulance.
you give them what they want, and then they don't want that anymore. They want this other thing.
So they're cats, basically.
Yeah,
And that
except
is
they
why
aren't
I
cute.
have a dog.
It's yeah, they're like cats. You buy them like a super expensive cat tower, and they go sit in the box.
Hey man, cats and cardboard boxes are the one true pairing, okay?
Oh, they are.
Get out of here, snake. Kitties want that cardboard box.
Yeah, Snake's box is not realistic because there aren't like a dozen cats in there with him.
Oh man. So you did mention that you made like 3 characters. So okay, so
Yeah,
We
mainly
got
three
stuck on
characters.
Richter because he's great.
Yeah, Richter's awesome.
I mean I agree, but I want to know who the other 2 are.
Oh, sure. So I also use Daisy and I use Palutena. So I got Richter's got a little bit of a harem going on.
Yeah, you got waifu
Even
powers.
though he has a girlfriend.
Yeah, that's right. That's the whole reason why Rondo of Blood exists.
Yeah, sorry, Annette. I have Daisy and Palutena now.
Well, to be fair, they get captured too. So I mean, maybe we need a Castlevania, like another Rondo sequel, aside of Symphony of the Night.
Put Mario in and Rondo of Blood.
Rondo of Mario.
Luigi already tried being part of a Castlevania game. It didn't go well.
Yeah, he kind of died, but we can forget about that. Water under the bridge.
Who cares about Luigi?
Whoa.
He's got a mansion. He's fine.
Well, he doesn't have them women's, but he's got money, so in a mansion.
And a high-tech
Even his
vacuum
girlfriend's a
cleaner.
hand-me-down from Mario. Well,
Ooh.
Ooh,
Ooh,
Too soon.
That stings.
apply cold water to burned area.
Yeah, some people ship Luigi and Rosalina,
Yeah.
but the idea of shipping Mario characters is kind of weird. But people do that.
All right, so we heard who you main. How about the why? I mean, obviously you play Richter because Richter's Richter, but
I main Daisy mainly because in Smash 4 I dabbled in Peach and I wanted to learn a bit more of her. And of course, Daisy's Daisy. You know, hi, I'm Daisy. She's just a pretty cool princess. And Palutena, I used her in Smash 4 a lot. She was one of my most used in
brave
Smash 4.
soul.
She was not
soul,
good
you're
in that
finally
game.
rewarded.
Yeah, she got mega buffed in this game. First, I wasn't gonna use her. Then I just picked her up. I was like, all right, I like this character again. And it mainly stems from my love of Kid Icarus Uprising, because goddamn, that game is so good. Palutena is like the funniest god in existence. So yeah, she's a great character and she's really fun to use.
Cool. It's really good to hear. Alright, well, as far as mains go, I might be a bit, because that would depend upon which game we're talking about.
You mean the whole roster?
I'm not sure I can even tell you the whole roster from memory. My memory's not that good. There are a lot of the characters. I'm going to start from 64 and move forward. So, 64, all about that Kirby. Kirby feels great to play. Back in those days, he had the epic faceplant dash attack, which for some reason is really powerful and works really well. He had the most unique specials in turning into a rock. My favorite thing to do with that while playing with items on is to get a Meowth or a Coughing Out, trap the computer player in that string of coins or poison, and then just rock on top of them and watch their damage skyrocket to 999 and they just get erased.
Wow!
He's got it all planned out too.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't no random occurrence. That stuff was planned. After Kirby, Yoshi. Oh my goodness, Yoshi is my childhood hero. Those of you, I don't know who here has played Yoshi's Island, but
That's a great game.
That game rightfully has a contention for one of the best platformers ever made. And this was 99, I think. Yeah, Yoshi's Story had to be out because we had the Yoshi Story stage. So, you know, when Yoshi got his own games, I was all about that. And playing Yoshi, oh man, down air, flutter kick, multiple times just to immediately get people to 60%. Mwah, beautiful. Egg sniping. Playing as Yoshi on Saffron City on the 64, it's so beautiful. You just pop eggs from anywhere.
Well, I hope you pay your
people
taxes.
into the abyss between the helicopter pad and the main building for Silphco. It's beautiful. So, and I should mention Kirby Superstar, one of my favorite games of all time. So that definitely factored into playing Kirby.
That game is amazing. Love Superstar.
That game is amazing.
Absolutely. And for a third pick, I don't know if you'll guess it, but it was Link, the only sword character in the original Smash Bros. Game. Too bad it took him 9 years to pull out bombs in those days, but man, did his boomerang hit like a truck and feel good. Yeah, he had the most physical range and just felt really satisfying to stab people with his Master Sword. And I was just getting into the Legend of Zelda franchise around that time. Yes, I'll admit, I was one of those people who used to think Link was called Zelda, blah, 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 got corrected on that. It's all good. So that's 64. I regularly played those three characters. And for Melee, all about, we tried Melee Kirby. Oh gods. Daddy Sakurai, why? Why can people break out of half of his grabs? Why does his dash attack not speed him up? Why? But then, you know, playing through Melee, doing the hard work of unlocking all the characters, doing all the challenges, all that epic stuff, came across this new character I'd never heard of before. He looked real stylish, had an awesome blade, and blue hair.
Ah, yes, Bowser.
I don't know who this Bowser guy is, but or I don't know what a signet of water is either, but playing Marth for the first time, I had no idea about tier lists or who's better than who. I didn't do any internet research or any of that. Just played him, and man, that character was fun to play in those days. It's fast, got aerial slashes for days. I was really into sword fighting with props with relatives and friends and stuff, and so I started like imitating Marth's fighting style. Actually had some success with that, and back in those days, Marth felt great. So yeah, for Melee, all about Marth. No secondaries, no tertiaries, just Marth. Then we get to Brawl. You're going to initially hate me when I say... Well, so, starting with Brawl, actually. From that game forward, I always played my first match as Kirby. Throwback to the 64 era. My favorite 64 character. Always start as Kirby. So yeah, Kirby was one of my... I'd say he was my first, and then he shifted to my second. I played Meta Knight, got good as him. You might hate me. All my friends weren't as good, decided playing the one broken character wasn't a good idea. So for my third, I played as Ganon. Just flip that tier list upside down.
Kirby
I'm a brave soul. And then for main, picked up another character Fire Emblem fans might have heard of. I don't know, he's kind of obscure. His name's Ike.
Oh, like the candy.
Yeah.
You mean
I
the
voted
former
for
American
him.
president?
Yeah, he won the presidency because of my vote. The problem with Ike in Brawl is that if you're jabbing near the edge and someone walks into you, you just near to death, literally. Moveset was a mess, but you know, I love the character, and actually hitting with his moves felt so good and satisfying that I played as him anyways, even though my Kirby was probably better. My Meta Knight was probably better at one point. I played as Ike because, hell, if I'm going to play a Smash Bros. Game, it's going to be to have fun. Smash 4 came out, and a whole bunch of patches changed how good each character was, so... didn't play Kirby nearly as much in that one. He had a couple good things going for him. Low percent combos, but he was missing his heavy-hitting F-Smash and some of the other good stuff that I really liked using as him. Smash 4 picked up a new entry once again. I don't know if this says that I'm just like emotionally flighty when it comes to fighting game characters, and I always gotta try out the new shiny thing. But a certain character who's sort of similar to Samus in that he blip 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 shoots projectiles all day long, picked up Mega Man, super fighting robot. And discovering YouTube videos where you could just leaf shield gimp people to death, that was fun. Kept playing Ike. He felt a little better than Brawl. Well, not at first. I didn't like him in the original patchless state. They changed some things. And, yeah, mainly played as those two characters. Still played Ganon. Beating Sonic players as Ganon was always fun. And then the new game. Oh, man. So there are like 90 zillion characters in the latest one. I don't even know if I can say I have a main. I don't own the game. I have too many other expenses to afford a Switch at this point in time, which sucks. But while playing at my family's house with my brothers and with this man Grant here, if I were to pick mains, I guess I would say Ike again, who, holy crap, he's got tools to go off that nair now, boys.
He's crazy good in Ultimate.
He no longer spins his sword like a helicopter, and suddenly he can kill things with his up air. It's beautiful. So if I were to
claim so many stocks, man, it's ridiculous.
And Ganon, oh praise be, he's had a sword on him all these games, and he finally decides to put it in his hand and to cleave people with it. So if I were to pick three, I guess I'd say Ike, Ganon, and Snake for now. Snake, I'm so glad of all the characters returning. I'm the most glad Snake is back. I didn't think it was going to happen. He feels so much fun to play. He's definitely an intellectual player character.
Galaxy Brain, here we go.
Oh yeah! I love watching some pro matches, and the commentator said, "What if you got to heaven? You wanted to go to heaven, but when you got there, God just said, Doria!" And you're done. So anyways, that took me a while because I had to go through 5 games. But yeah, I would say those are my mains. Bunch of reasons why, but I'm a sortie. You don't like sorties. Enjoy getting smash attacked by me from several spaces away. Deal with it. And now that I've taken up all the time, Grant, who do you like to main?
So, back in Smash 64, Samus was my first main. Samus was the character that finally clicked when I started learning how to play, so I used Samus. It was always fun to just use Project to charge up the charge shot during group matches. When everyone's focused on killing each other, I'm just off in my little corner, just charging my beam, and then all of a sudden, bam! I would just sneak up on someone, just shoot it at random and kill someone. That got me a lot of salt from people. So, Melee, it was Marth all the way. I loved Marth's fast aerial combos, and his sword range is just like a work of art.
And his grab range is like Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
The videos on that are too funny.
I think someone even claimed that Marth's grab range is in that game is like bigger than Yoshi's, which, yay.
There's this clip of Marth's grab range that I always love to see. It's there's one from Melee where Yoshi's doing his neutral B, and then after he finishes doing the special, Marth just grabs him from like so far away. It's hilarious.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I've seen that clip.
I'm gonna have to look that up later.
It's so funny.
Sounds amazing.
So with Melee, if it wasn't Marth, it was also Sheik. I started getting better because, again, combo game. Even one of my friends was like, Sheik's a combo whore, and I'm like, that's why I love her. So those are my main two. And then in Brawl, once again, it was Marth, and then I also started picking up Ike, even though I was disappointed with how he was represented. I still loved using him.
Yeah, I dropped fan.
Then I dropped Sheik for Sonic in Brawl. I had some fun with Sonic, even though it felt like it took a million hits to kill.
My brother was a Sonic main in the Brawl days.
Oh, is it Steven or Andy?
Steven.
Okay. Alright, so I'm also going to include Project M because I have played it a little bit. Once again,
I didn't even think about that.
Once again, with Project M, it was Marth, Sheik, and Ike. I just recently played it with a former roommate of mine, and we went back and forth as Marth and Ganon, and then as Sheik, I just like comboed him all throughout the stage. It was beautiful.
I haven't gotten to play Project M, but considering how melee-centric it is, it looks really good because every decision made was purposeful.
That's
the thing about the newest Project M update, that felt a lot smoother than Melee. I could definitely tell a difference between playing the two. It felt a lot more crisper, which I liked. The version I had had some really awesome skins. So Lucina could be a Marth skin back then. Cloud could be an Ike skin.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Batman could be a Snake skin. Ronald McDonald could be a Wario skin.
I haven't gotten to play Project M, but I like that they included new characters too. Like they added Knuckles, the Echidna from Sonic. The character still looked like he needed a lot of polishing, and they never finished.
Also
but
going to add Lynn
still.
from Fire Emblem before they got shut down or shut themselves down. Whatever happened.
Yeah. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Like I
didn't play too much of Project M.
Sorry, go ahead.
What's even better is that the one I had, gave you these new stages so you could fight on Planet Namek. That was fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Glorious.
Yeah.
John Michael, I think
YouTube.
you were saying something on PM.
Oh yeah, I didn't play a lot of Project M, but I did play a good chunk of it. I really liked using Roy and Bowser in that game, because with Roy they actually made him like a good character. His hits didn't feel like he was using a pool noodle.
That's so true. Poor Melee Roy.
And I think they even added like he could do a reversal with his side B. That was always fun to do. And with Bowser, Bowser's Bowser. He's like Mr. Big Heavyweight, just hits something and it dies. Super fun to use in Project M.
Kind of like Ganondorf.
Yeah.
PM Ganon had the float around option, didn't he?
He
Yes, he did. And trust me, I know. I played a really good Ganon main with Marth. That was ridiculous. He was good.
Yeah, it's nice to see they finally somebody pulled in Ganon's floatiness from Ocarina of Time final boss fight.
Marth has some really cool skins in PM. I think he even has a Sigurd one.
Yeah,
Nice.
yes, he did. I would know. I played as the Sigurd skin, and then
Nice.
got bodied.
Well, you were playing as Sigurd, what did you oh, wait, spoiler.
Ooh,
Ooh.
It would have cost you nothing to not
too
say that,
soon.
and yet you did.
What did it cost us? Everything.
So, moving on to Smash 4. Smash 4 is when I really started to change up my roster.
Yes, you did.
I dropped Marth. I still used Ike. Let's see. I used Ike.
I got Cloud.
I was gonna say Cloud. Will you let me finish? Cloud was a big one. Corrin, I actually got pretty decent with Corrin. I loved using Corrin's down B. Like, there was a time when I got, like, right in between two characters, used down B, killed them both, won.
Pre-patch Corn was super fun.
Yeah, especially that charge
Unless
shot,
you were
too.
fighting pre-patch Corrin.
True.
Well, that was pre-patch Corrin. Deal with it. I also mained Roy. Roy was a fun one.
Oh, Roy
Yeah.
felt so improved.
So
What?
fast.
I was using Shulk, but I got disappointed with Shulk, so I dropped him in 4. Although in 5, I started maining him. That was fun. I actually started winning with Shulk. That was nice. I think 4 is when I started playing with DRP, and then he convinced me to do Ganon, so ever since then, I do Ganon.
Ganon boys.
And then last but not least, we have Ultimate, where it's Ike, Shulk, Ganon. I try to use the Belmonts, but I haven't really gotten the hang of them yet. So I'm with you, John Michael. Richter main for
Nice.
the win.
I'm a Simon man myself.
I
Richter's good.
do still use Samus though for Ultimate, and I actually recently won with Samus. Like, it was so funny. It was just me and 2 other guys. Once again, they're just killing each other. I'm just off in the corner shooting missiles and charge shot haphazardly, and I killed the. I wasn't even aiming for one of the guys, but I killed him anyway, and he got so pissed off. It was beautiful. And then ever since then, everybody was just playing Samus because they're like, well, one of the few people who ever wins is Samus, so.
I don't want to hold Guy off too long from getting his piece in, but since we're mentioning Samus, what do you think of the Samus versus Dark Samus thing? I think I've heard Dark Samus is considered the better one for whatever reason. I haven't paid attention to why.
Dark Samus has the Spider-Man jump.
Spider-Man jump?
Yeah.
I honestly,
Jumps like Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
I must be a total scrub because I don't really notice the difference between the two.
I don't think there is.
I thought
Oh, yeah,
Dark
clone.
Samus hit a little bit harder in some moves, or like a little slower but a little harder. But I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
I think the only echoes that really have like a noticeable difference between their original characters are Lucina and Dark Pit.
Yeah, and maybe like
I know,
Proms,
like-
because that uppy is so different.
Oh yeah,
Prom
Prom,
too, yeah.
I know, like Simon and
Because he doesn't
Richter
have
are
a sour spot.
basically the exact same.
There's actually one very specific difference between Simon and Richter, but you'll never notice it when you're actually playing. It's in their
The
forward
fire.
smash. No, it's in their
Oh.
forward smash. So when Simon does his forward smash, he angles it, like the way he holds his whip is like in a different way that Richter does. So Simon's is a little better for, I think, hitting grounded opponents, and Richter's is better for hitting aerial opponents.
Wow.
But
That's
it's a
actually really cool to know.
really, really negligible difference, though.
I just got educated on
noticed
Belmont.
that.
Let's go.
And I've played a good few.
like I said, you'll almost never
I
notice
thought you were
that.
gonna mention that their fire, one fire is fire and the other fire is water or something.
The holy water, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it is
Oh,
supposed to
blue
be
fire
holy
burns
water.
hotter.
And the cross is actually a boomerang because 80s censorship. I mean, it works like a boomerang. Why can't all of my church crosses be like boomerangs?
So I think that's pretty much it for me for Ultimate. It's just Ultimate kind of felt like its own thing plus leftovers from Smash 4 mains. So that's me. Guy, I believe you're up now.
Yep. It is my turn, I think. Yeah, I'm last. So, when I was a kid, trying to play Melee with people from school, I pretty much just played as, like, Pikachu, Mewtwo. I think a couple of times I tried to play as Pichu. I didn't really spend that much time on Melee as a kid, and as an adult trying to play it again, like give it a fair shot. I played exclusively Roy because I'm stubborn like that.
Our boy.
Who now speaks English.
Yeah, finally.
Involuntary shudder.
So I didn't really like get into being able to play Smash like semi-regularly, and with, I guess, friendly people until Brawl, which then I would play. I would play the Pokemon characters, of course. I loved playing Pokemon Trainer because I was like, oh my god, you can swap between the three first gen starters. That's awesome. It's like a 3-in-1, and that was just the coolest thing to me when I was like 12. And then going back to Brawl as an adult, I play mostly Marth. Then Smash 4 was where I tried to get into competitive Smash, and I played Link and Lucina mostly when I first got the game, and I still play Lucina a lot in 4 and Ultimate. And then when Roy came out as DLC, I swapped over to Roy, and he's been my main all through Smash 4 since he dropped, and then straight through Ultimate. And the reason for...
And tell us how he feels to play now.
Oh my god, he feels so good. He moves so fast, and he hits like a damn freight train. I love it.
It's kind of ironic that Roy was kind of like an advertisement in Melee, but that's like his worst version. And since then, they're just like, well, we gotta make him better now to compensate.
I think it's
He's no longer
hilarious.
Bad Marth.
Like, absolutely hilarious that Smash 4 and Ultimate depict him as like kind of buff and he hits so damn hard, and in his own game he's like he's a scholarly teenager.
Bury me!
He's not a fighter. He's book smart. But
All that time it took for him to promote paid off.
Ironically, Melee Roy is the most accurate Binding Blade version.
yeah. Hey, listen,
Like
man.
I said, Mr.
Listen,
Full Noodle.
man. When your sword is global warming, it does a lot for you.
Oh,
Yep.
that's why. 'Cause global warming is getting worse over the years. That's why he's so strong now.
See?
Yeah, spending time with the harem made him stronger. To be real.
Well, Sicilium really made him work for it. Go on.
Ooh.
Whoa. Anyway.
To quote her, well, he is a boy after.
Whoa. Y'all are wild. Anyways, so the why part, pretty simple reasonings on my part. When I was growing up, I would play the Pokemon characters because Pokemon was basically my life growing up. It was and still is my favorite franchise. And
Sweet.
so, of course, I want to play as Pokemon characters when I'm just having dumb fun. Competitively, when I got into it, I picked up Roy, partly because Smash 4 is what got me into the Fire Emblem series in the first place. But Roy also fits really well with the playstyle that I had developed. When I play competitive games, I like to go for a very hyper-offensive approach and just keep throwing out as many attacks as I can, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. I had a friend of mine that's really good. He goes to tournaments and streams a lot and everything. Told me one time that the fact I throw out attacks all the time keeps him guessing and messes him up a lot. So that's, I guess, kind of my shtick with Smash, and it works the best for me with Roy. So, Roy's my boy.
And Smash Ultimate's style certainly helps Roy out a lot more than 4's did.
Oh, yes. But also,
Definitely.
I also want to mention, I don't know if I'd really call her a main, but in Smash 4, I played Zelda a little bit, and she got a lot better in Ultimate, and so I kind of play her almost as much as I play Roy in terms of time investment, but I don't know if I'd really call her a main because she plays so differently from what I'm used to, which is part of why I wanted to pick her up in the first place.
Also, she's just heckin' cute now.
Yeah.
I know she's supposed to
really
be her
glad they
Link to
changed
the
her
Past
design.
iteration, but she was not that cute back in her 90s artwork, let me tell you.
Well, you know, the 90s were a weird time, man.
Everybody had big hair.
Interestingly enough, like, I remember when Zelda was like being announced, and like so many people like had Zelda profiles. Even Sammy still has a profile.
Yeah, a lot of people flipped out like, oh my god, they made her like super adorable. Why would they do this for the fighting game?
I mean, it worked, though.
It works.
She's been serious lady for the past 2 Smash games.
Just because she's adorable doesn't mean she can't kick your face in.
That might actually
Have
make
her
her
little spirit do it for her.
that might actually make her more adorable in the eyes of some of her fans. The fact that she can kick their face in.
I'm just really glad they changed hers and Ganon's design for this
Right.
game, because I'm just not a fan of the Twilight Princess ones at all.
Mr. Grant Booth, sir, we do not kink shame on this channel.
I was not king shaming though. I was pointing out the fact that she's actually more adorable in that case.
Is there something you need to tell us?
Nope.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on.
I think that's all I really have to say. Just basically, if you play me in Smash, chances are I'm going to be playing a Pokemon character, a Fire Emblem character, or Zelda. Or Ganon. I like playing Ganon in Ultimate a lot because he feels...
Ganon's so fun.
He's so much fun in Ultimate.
Yes.
I wouldn't call him a main, but while we're on the topic of who we play, he's just...
So I think 3 of us all play Ganon.
No, I play Ganon on the side too, man. He's great. It's the nose that gives him power.
He's the sword and he has a dagger attached to his face. Let's go.
Ganon, boys. Don't mess with the Ganon. Alright, next question. Which Smash Brothers game is your favorite and why? DRP?
Starting us off. Alright, so I'm going to begin by saying I think every time a new Smash Bros. Game comes out, I like it more than the last. That is held true each time. Even with the transition from Melee to Brawl, yeah, Brawl had its issues, but there were a lot of good things added. So yeah, every time there's a new game, it's my new favorite, and that means that Ultimate is my favorite Smash Bros. Game. It is insane, not just the number of characters in Ultimate, but the comparative balance between the entire roster. We have almost every character feels good to play and can do so on a competitive level. There are just a few exceptions. That is incredible. Most fighting games run a roster of maybe 20. maybe 30 characters, and maybe half of them are viable. Daddy Sakurai has stepped up. I mean, it took him 20 years to find that sweet spot, but he did it, and it's amazing. This game has all the stuff. World of Light is not balanced. They should have fixed that a little bit, but it is fun to play. That damn Donkey Kong and Pauline challenge was a load of mess. It's got an online mode that needs fixing, but is getting better. And there's so many stages. Saffron City came back. That was my favorite 64 stage. I can't tell you how glad I am it came back. I remade it in the Brawl editor. And man, am I glad that stage is back. It's got all the different modes. You can just do Battlefield or Final Destination forms of every stage. The new items are great. We've got kick-ass new Pokemon. Shout out to Guy's favorite series. Ultimate's where it's at. And it gave us the salt of Belmont haters. So, you know, that's always fun. And we no longer have Bayonetta jumping a zillion times and doing 0 to deaths.
You know,
So yeah, Ultimate's where it's at for me.
I would like to make a little side tangent about Smash 4 Bayo. I was shocked to learn that she was considered the top tier character of 4 because every time I played on 4 Glory against Bayo mains, I would pretty much curb stomp them.
Yeah, there were a lot of bad Bayonetta players.
That's the case for a lot of characters like that in fighting games. It's like that for K. Rool, Belmont.
Like, the funny thing is that what they would do every single time I was off the edge, they would try to use a smash attack to edgeguard me, and then I was almost always a Fire Emblem character, so I would just use the down B counter against their edgeguard, and it would work every single time. There were even times where they would just do it, like, over and over again. That's... Like, even after they learned that their edgeguard failed, it's just, nope, down B. Get wrecked.
Yeah, well, I actually had to fight ones that could 0 to death. Usually while I was playing as Ganon. That sucked.
Ooh, painful.
Smash 4 Ganon could not handle Smash 4 Bayo. It couldn't happen.
Yeah, I think the main reason people were so, like, up in arms about Bayo was because she's just... When she was put into the game, she was such a different, like, playstyle from any other character in the game, especially for the game's engine, too.
Yeah, she had auto combos that other characters didn't. Which, if we're gonna do auto combos, like, let's go all in on it like PM did. And not just have one character who can.
Yeah. I guess I'm glad that Ultimate Bayo's not like that. It's funny because I remember seeing this vid of some pro Bayo player playing against someone else, and some of the fans were like, "Bayo's too nerfed now. She's not good enough." I'm just like, did we just forget that the previous game had her like crushing everything?
Yeah. I gotta say, the salt of Bayo fans complaining about how nerfed she is delight me too.
Well, I do agree somewhat with that sentiment, just not in like a salty manner, because I think that like when it comes to patching a fighting game, I'm more of we should buff the characters that are weaker rather than like destroy those that are strong. But Bayo was just like, I guess, too oppressive for Smash 4. So even though I think like she shouldn't have been as like nerfed so hard, it was a little justified.
I'd like to agree with that statement. Like, I want to say Brawl's problem was not Meta Knight. All the other characters should have been like Meta. That was the problem.
It wasn't that Meta Knight was too good, even though he was really good. It was that every other character just sucked. Or like
exactly
80% of the roster sucked.
Yeah. And some other things with the game engine itself, like air dodge to win, but you know.
Brawl is just such a strange game for me because it's one of those rare instances where the more I played it, the less good I got, whereas the less I played it, the more likely I was to win.
Yeah, that's a funny conundrum to be in.
I think that's why I kind of stopped playing after a while. It's like, well, I'm noticing this pattern. Why should I continue? None of the other games do that. Brawl. Just why?
And the art style hasn't really aged that well. It was really cool at the time when it was first revealed, but now it just looks all like muddy and weird.
A lot of time really changes your sense of perception on a lot of things.
Yeah, of course.
So, DRP, do you have anything more to add, or?
I'm pretty sure that covers it. Ultimate's my favorite. It's got the most stuff. It's done balanced the best. And I'm so glad I get to play as Snake again in a much better game engine.
All right, then. JohnMichael, I believe you're next.
So, new guy, you're going to tell us that 64 is your favorite from all the years of playing it.
Yes, 64. Remember playing it while I was just a fetus.
And he still wrecked everyone.
No wonder he's so good.
Get on his level, Isaiah.
Well, to parrot DRP a little bit, Ultimate's my favorite game too, and yeah, I agree immensely with the sentiment that when a new Smash game comes out, it like that one just immediately becomes my favorite. Like Ultimate, it really lives up to its name. It's got characters, stages. It is a little light on the single player modes, but I'm fine with it because I never really played Home Run and the Target Blast that much to begin with, and they were better in Melee anyway.
Agreed.
But Classic mode, oh man, Classic mode and Ultimate is just amazing. Like it's the best it's ever been. It doesn't like drag and it doesn't go by too quickly. And the fact that it's unique for every single character is really cool. And World of Light, it has its issues, but I do enjoy it more than I enjoy Subspace Emissary. Because, well, the cutscenes for Emissary are great, I won't deny that. But the gameplay itself, it's kind of annoying, because it's just like very mindless beat 'em up, and the enemies are a little annoying too. But yeah. World of Light also has all those cool callbacks to other than Nintendo franchises. No matter how hard they be, I really...
Like The Legend of Cloud Strife, where Cloud is the enemy in the Triforce for some reason.
And Joker, who's probably going to be in World of Light's expansion, which is definitely going to come.
It is. I don't know if anyone else here has played Final Fantasy X, but World of Light definitely took that sphere grid concept with its ability tree.
It's actually interesting. Now that I think about it, World of Light, like the way the map is set up is actually kind of similar to the 3DS Smash's Classic mode, in the way that you like move along the paths, just on a much, much bigger scale. But yeah, Ultimate's my favorite. It's gonna be my favorite until the next Smash game comes out, which will probably not be for a while. But yeah, Ultimate is Ultimate. It's pretty much it.
Can't believe I was wrong.
So, since Guy is away, I guess I'll go. And guess what my favorite is? It's also Ultimate. It used to be Melee.
That's unheard of.
It used to be Melee for the longest time because Melee, favored a more aggressive style, but Ultimate just came through. I think what I love about the most, in addition to the reasons that you guys covered, is that we have so many tournament viable Fire Emblem characters now. McAulay's Ike is just a thing of beauty.
It's beautiful.
And that's another thing about the game. I don't know if it's like a fighting game with the biggest roster. I'm pretty sure it is, but the unique thing about it is that every single character feels different in their own way. Everyone's unique to play as. No one character plays the same as another. Like, take Roy and Chrom. Yeah, Chrom's an Echo, but he doesn't have a sour spot, so you can be like you can do a little bit more spacing with him than you can with Roy.
Yeah, and the fact that Chrom and Roy can actually be tournament viable now, like
Yeah.
Roy and tournament viable. When do you ever hear those words in the same sentence? Like, that just does not happen.
Yeah, like the only time you'd see
Is that
Roy in
5
a
PM?
tournament in Melee is like if Mewtwo King is sandbagging. Same with
Yeah.
Pichu. Pichu's friggin' top tier now. I can't believe I'm even saying that.
Freaking Pichu of all characters, like, that's just see, crap like that is just incredible about Ultimate that you don't get about the other games. So many,
And the game
so
is
many
just
powerful,
beautiful.
yeah, so many powerful,
So
viable
is.
characters. I like the game engine. I like the fact that it favors an offensive playstyle like Melee did, but at the same time, it managed to do a much better job at making the characters viable, so that makes it fun. And the fact that it has everything too. I mean, good grief, it has all the stages.
Over 100.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. Since is Guy back?
I am.
No,
Yes. Hi.
Okay, good.
Hello. Right before we transition over, so it's interesting to hear how we each have had a different journey, right? Grant and I are both playing from the very first game, more or less. We've got newcomers from Smash 4 onwards. And it's interesting how Ultimate, so far, is the unanimous 3 out of 3 favorite. And we each have had a different journey to it. My experience, I did a lot of playing in Brawl, and then a lot in Smash 4 on the 3DS. It was too poor to get the Wii U version. And so, I have a lot of experience playing the slower Smash games, actually. And that's something I have to adjust when playing Ultimate. I gotta retrain myself to be more aggressive. Whereas the aggressive nature is what appeals to Melee players like Grant. And it's really cool how Daddy Sakurai brought it all together.
Yeah, it really is.
And that man is a miracle worker.
And the fact that, and like you said, the fact that it appeals to people of like all different types of Smash backgrounds, I think is arguably its biggest strength, which that's saying a lot because it has a lot of those.
And I completely agree that it has the appeal of melee aggression, but it's actually got balance and moves make more sense most of the time.
I would definitely agree with that too.
All right. So that was
Welcome back, Guy. Let's hear what your favorite Smash game is.
I wonder what it could be.
Well, my answer to that question kind of depends on which angle we're taking. I have two answers in mind here.
Mm-hmm.
The first answer would be Ultimate for all of the reasons you guys have gone over. It has the biggest roster, an incredible balance. It has all the stages. It has an amazing amount of musical representation, which is one of my favorite things about it as well. It looks great.
Their remix of Richter's theme is just
Oh my
beautiful.
god, it's amazing,
All
dude.
the
And out of time.
remixes, the just straight up ported in tracks, like all my favorite series have such good musical representation. The Mega Man themes are kicking, the Pokemon themes are amazing.
Oh,
The Fire Emblem themes
those are
are
great.
amazing. My only complaint, my literal only one complaint in the music department is they did not put in Twilight of the Gods from Fire Emblem Echoes.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, actually, I do have another complaint, and that's that there's not more Final Fantasy music, but
Yeah, that's
that would
the
be really
obvious
nice.
yeah, that's...
They should have put in like Final Fantasy VI boss music.
They should have...
one. I was really,
SNES,
really
man.
disappointed when Cloud came out in Smash 4. I saw 2 songs, and one of them wasn't One Winged Angel. That hurt.
It's true.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they didn't...
Can you imagine Sephiroth as a support character, the way
Oh,
Black
man.
Knight is now?
Oh, God.
That'd be so cool.
You know, funny
Set it
thing,
forth.
Black Knight got represented finally.
that they were actually going to put in Terra before they settled on Cloud.
I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
And that kind
That
of...
made I was surprised with the Switch because Nintendo games you immediately jump to Terra or maybe crap, forgetting the name of the Final Fantasy IV character.
Cecil?
Cecil? Yeah.
Cecil. A fun
Like,
fact,
I could see one of them being it. You can play as Cloud, who was never on a Nintendo game, but he is pretty much the face of the Final Fantasy franchise, so it makes sense from that perspective.
oh, I wish there was more representation than just for 7. Like, they don't even have
the series
a lot
really
of...
deserves it.
I think they only have like one spirit for Final Fantasy, and it's Zack, I think.
I don't know. Wait, is it? I don't even know. I think they're.
I don't
I
think
don't
there.
know.
I don't
Maybe-
think there's more. At
maybe
least if
Square
there
Enix
are more,
wouldn't
I
let
haven't
'em.
heard of more. But
There's like only the Cloud one in his Advent Children costume, and I guess the Zack one is there. I don't remember seeing it.
I haven't seen it, but I heard somebody saw it, and I haven't seen.
I mean,
anything.
Square wouldn't even let them put Cloud in the World of Light cutscenes. So I don't think Squenix knows what they're doing these days. They're like, no, we have to like hold on to our stuff. Everyone play Dissidia instead.
He was hiding in
Guys.
the Zelda world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the Triforce of spiky hair.
A little bit of a diversionary fun fact about this. Cloud being put in over Terra is actually the second time that my favorite protagonist in a series was cheated out of their Smash spot by their direct successor. The other time was when they chose Roy over Leaf. Which is a documented thing that Sakurai did. They were going to put in Leaf because at the time of Melee's release, Fire Emblem 5 was the most recent Fire Emblem game. And then they
wanted to promote Sword and Seals coming out.
They wanted to promote Binding Blade. And Sakurai... And I love Sakurai, but this is the dumbest reason for anything I've ever heard, and I have no problem saying that. His reason for picking Roy over Leaf is because he thought Roy's sword being on fire was cooler. Like, you're not wrong, but... Come on, man. Like,
I always wonder what it would be like
reason.
if Leaf was in.
Well, for one thing, FE5 would get the love it deserves.
Yeah. It'd be such a different, like,
Would
world.
it, though? Because so many scrubs wouldn't have been able to play through it. Because
I mean-
Marth and Roy got us to try... Well, the older gamers amongst us got us to try Fire Emblem 7 Blazing Sword. And only some of us had the chops to play through that game, and that game's not even that hard. And then people trying out SNES ROMs first thing. I don't know, man. I would hope it would work out.
Binding Blade still hasn't been localized yet. That game gets a lot of love, so I feel like the roles would just be reversed.
Yeah, I feel...
Okay.
I mean, obviously we don't know, but I think that's what would happen. FE5 would be the loved one, and FE6 would be the forgotten one in the series. Although Heroes treats them both...
It would be
shitty,
hated.
so...
You took out all these features! Waha!
I mean, that's what their reaction was when it came out. Anyway, that was a diversion. That's just kind of a fun fact. So,
It's a
yeah,
good fact.
Ultimate, I love it. My complaints for it are very few and far between. And for the competitive side of things especially, I would also say that that's my favorite. That is definitely the most viable one. It feels like Ultimate, more so than the previous Smashes, embraced that there is a competitive side to Smash, even though that was not Sakurai's original intent for the series.
Yeah, with Brawl purposely putting in trips just to give competitive people the FU. Oopsies.
Which brings me to my other answer, which would be Brawl. I know, that's... Hold your pitchforks for a minute, let me explain.
Oh boy.
The reasons I like Brawl... I mean, first, it was the first Smash that I really got into and had a very positive experience with, so there is some nostalgia bias there, and I fully admit it. But also, it was really where the series started showing that they could and would incorporate characters that weren't necessarily Nintendo IPs, weren't Nintendo famous, but were worthy icons, and Smash showing itself as not just a celebration of Nintendo, but a celebration of gaming as a medium, as an art form, and a collective whole, and that's really special to me. And yet it's only gotten better with that, with 4 and Ultimate, but Brawl is really where they started to do that. And the other thing I really like about Brawl, which I think everyone and their mother will agree on, is the Subspace Emissary. It was amazing.
Meta Knight is my favorite Fire Emblem character, after all.
Well, he's got
Now
a
I'm
sword.
envisioning Meta Knight
And he's blue.
jumping around with Marth's voice.
Damn. No, but seriously, like, the Subspace was just... It was a really cool, kind of different take on storytelling to me, and it was interesting that they even tried to do any storytelling when they had such a huge set of characters from such vastly different backgrounds with totally different motifs and themes. I mean, like, you have the Fire Emblem characters, and Fire Emblem is traditionally a very dark and serious series alongside frickin' Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, it's...
Made me happy.
Like even
Oh, yes.
even though Smash is just so ingrained into gaming culture nowadays, and we're so used to it, every time I think about like what this means, it just feels so surreal to me, and that feeling really started with Brawl, and I think that's why I hold it in such high regard, because it's a lot. It was a huge step forward, I think, even though it scaled back on.
So Brawl is your other favorite.
Yes. If we're looking at the sense of, like, purely what is here and the amount of content and representation, Ultimate takes the cake, no question. I can't argue with it. But if we look on the more, I guess, symbolic side of things, my heart goes to Brawl because of what I think it represents and what it means.
That's a really interesting answer.
It also revived the Kid Icarus series, so major props for that.
It did do
no
that.
kidding.
Which I personally have never played a Kid Icarus.
I love how Pitt just starts off as just a fanboy watching the fight. That's pretty much what he is. He is the Smash Bros. Fanboy character.
Kept us waiting, but it paid off because Kid Icarus Uprising is a damn good game.
Everybody keeps telling me I need to play it.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I should give that a try. So, yeah, I want to say, because I think JohnMichael commented that some of the things he didn't like about Subspace Emissary. I want to say what I love about it is the storytelling, and that you are playing a platformer. Because we'll cover this more later on the list of what we like about the series, but this is not just some fighting game. This is a platformer fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
This is a jump around. That's what I love about Subspace. It gave us that. I wish World of Light had that aspect. Now, could it be designed better? Absolutely it could. And the funny thing, Brawl is accused of being the slowest and, in quotes, worst Smash game, and it is the slowest, and Subspace takes all the characters when you need to move the most and makes them slower. I don't like that. But you get to play through the game with whatever character you want. You get to the end, Sonic saves your bacon from Taboo. Taboo's a little bitch. You get to kick Taboo's ass. Pretty great stuff.
Taboo kind of reminds me of Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen in his design.
I never made that comparison before.
I never thought about that, and now I can't unsee it.
You're welcome.
Saw that. So.
Hot take, though, I actually think I prefer the Subspace to the World of Light. I'm not saying the World of Light is bad. I like it. I enjoyed my time with it, but I feel like the way that the World of Light was structured, with it just being these kind of battles with extra conditions, kind of wears a little more thin than the platforming aspect of the Subspace. And also, I feel like Subspace was a little bit better with its storytelling.
Oh yeah, no question about
Absolutely.
that. That's the one thing I'll agree on about Subspace.
And another thing I
honestly.
wanted to say about Brawl that I like about it is, like I said, Ultimate I think is absolutely perfect. Well, as close to you can get as perfect for the competitive scene with how balanced it is and how huge and diverse the roster is. Brawl, on the other hand, I think represents the other half of Smash, the more casualized side, and a lot of people say that they don't like how hard Brawl pushed towards that side. I think it was a great thing, personally, because the Wii... If you think it was on the Wii, and the Wii was such a monumental console that brought so many people into gaming as a whole that had never thought twice about it before, and showed people what it could be. And Brawl came along and said, just go ham, have fun. Don't sweat the details. Don't be a tryhard. Don't be an asshole. Just have fun. And that's something that I think is really special and really undervalued by a lot of people.
Yeah, I'd like to agree with that. I mean, Brawl came out in 2008. I was in college, and I got to play with all my gamer friends. Also, my non-gamer friends got them into it. Basically just had played some Pokemon games, and that was about it. And he got to play Brawl a lot with us, played as Lucario, had a great time. One of the reasons I switched to playing Ganon a lot more over Meta Knight. And yeah, it's, filthy casuals, but a bunch of people had fun playing the game together. So there's a lot of good things to say about it.
The Smash series as a whole, and again, this really started with Brawl for me because it's where I got into Smash, but Brawl 4 and Ultimate have all really expanded my horizons with gaming, which I think is the biggest reason that I continue to hold the series in such high regard. Because I'm really not that much of a fighting game person, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
I do like playing Smash with my friends. I go to tournaments for the fun of it sometimes, but I'm really not a huge fighting game person. But I think that this aspect of what it represents for gaming is what keeps me coming back to the series. Like, oh, well, this character's fun to play in Smash, I should check out how they were in their own games. That's how I first got into Fire Emblem. That's how I checked out... That's part of why I checked out the Mega Man series. That's part of why I checked out Kirby eventually. That's why I checked out Castlevania. That's how I gave Zelda a second chance, because I didn't like the Zelda games growing up.
I think those are like later questions you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm so sorry. I totally forgot that was the next that was coming up. I'll stop there. But yeah, it's.
I think sorry. I think the main thing that's like so great about Smash is that it's not just a game series. It's like a cultural phenomenon, because when a new Smash game comes out, everybody gets on that hype train. Everybody starts speculating. Everybody starts making memes.
Yep, it happens with every new Smash game, and it
destroys
really
E3 for every company that's
being
not
a part
Nintendo.
of it.
Sony and Microsoft, we got some cool things planned. Nintendo, we've got Smash Bros.
That's cool, but have you heard of Smash Brothers?
Do you have a minute so we can talk about Smash
Checkmate.
Bros? So, moving on to the next question, because it sounds like we're ready to move. What are your favorite stages to play on? And once again, Guy, you got a back and forth, so take it away.
Oh, okay. Generally, the stages I like to play on are the ones from some of my favorite series because of the music, really, and because, like, hey, this thing's representing something I already loved is my simple reasoning. So in Ultimate, it's mostly like the Pokemon stages, the Zelda stages, the Mega Man stage. Shame there's only one of them now that I think about it. Yeah, there is only one Mega Man stage, but I say Fire Emblem stage, I mean the Fire Emblem stage. Most specifically for Fire Emblem, I like playing on the Arena for Rocks because it's the only Fire Emblem stage that's actually like from the Fire Emblem games.
The Castle Siege one doesn't really make much sense. It's like, here's a generic castle, we'll just attribute it to Fire Emblem. It's like, well...
And the one thing that was related to Fire Emblem was the fact that Black Knight was in the background.
Yeah, like, I think Castle Siege is supposed to represent the Tellius games, but, like, it doesn't look like any of the castles in those games. And it's not like named for one of the specific... It's not like Castle Crimea or Castle Dayan or something, so I don't know what it's supposed to... And then the other one's just a generic Colosseum, which is not anything, like...
Yeah,
is that supposed to be, like, the arena that's in every game? I don't know, but Arena for Rocks is...
Either way,
Go ahead.
Sorry, go on.
No, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I don't even consider the Castle Siege a Fire Emblem stage because it's not really linked to anything that's Fire Emblem. Like, if you took Fire Emblem out of the title, you would never be able to tell it's from one of the games.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I think that's why I'm saying, like, Arena for Rocks specifically, because it's actually from a Fire Emblem game, and one that I like at that. Awakening is the first Fire Emblem game I played. So, and now that with Ultimate, how they let you have any music track from a series play on any stage linked to that series, that's my go-to for my Fire Emblem jams. For the Pokemon stages, I think my favorite is probably the Unova Pokemon League, because the 5th generation Pokemon games are my favorite ones, like, by far. And I think that was the only Pokemon stage in the 3DS version of Smash 4, I think, which is the one I had. I didn't have a Wii U. But I might be misremembering that. I don't know. And for Zelda, my personal favorite stage...
What do you think of, briefly, what do you think of Kalos as a competitive stage?
I think it's good.
I like that stage.
I like the Kalos Pokemon League, yeah, I like it a lot. I also really liked X and Y as
It sure looks great too.
It looks
the
beautiful.
Option of extra pop. Yeah.
For the Zelda series, my favorite stage is the Great Plateau Tower, because
It's a nice one.
it's really, I like the aesthetic of it. I like fighting on top of a tower. That's always a really cool motif to me, and like it looks great. The old man flying by in the background is a nice touch. Like it's kind of distracting, but it's a charming touch. I like it. And also, the last stage that I like, I have never played a Bayonetta game, but that stage is trippy as shit.
I love that stage, mainly because I love the Bayonetta games, but it's a great stage in general.
I've only played a very little bit of Bayonetta. I think the stage is pretty much the very beginning of the first game. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Got my reference.
Chloe really likes Bayonetta, but I haven't.
Somebody says, play Bayonetta, dumbass.
Yep, that's right.
Alright, you know. Chill, my 360 was on the fritz. I just got a working Xbox One.
So that's my take. Basically, just the stages for the series that I already love.
All right, I believe I'm up next. So, for me, I think my favorite stages happen to be tourney viable ones. As I've gotten older, I have less patience for the shenanigans of like getting killed super early by the stage. So, Yoshi's Island, I think, is my favorite one. It's the one where you have the 3 platforms and you have Randall.
Randall, yes, classic.
And again, I love that one. I love that one because as a Marth main in Melee, it was just so much fun to just obliterate someone on a platform. I also like Battlefield for similar reasons. I will say though that in terms of non-tourney viable stages, there are two that stand out. Then the first one is Hyrule Castle from the N64.
Yes!
Ooh,
that's a cool stage.
That's a good one. And then I also like Corneria from Melee. That one's a lot of fun. It gives you a lot of room to fight and maneuver around, but at the same time, you could just smack someone on a wall or watch someone get shot by the lasers underneath. That's always fun.
Good choice.
I think those are the main ones. There's one on the top of my head I'm trying to remember. Watch, it's just going to come back to me. I'm just going to be like, oh crap, I didn't include this.
Mario Maker for the lulz.
No, Saffron City. Saffron City was it.
There you go.
Mario Maker. No, Saffron City. Yeah, that one's a lot of fun. That one's also very nostalgic too, because I think that was one of the first ones I actually played on. It was that in Hyrule Castle where I started learning how to play the game. So, all the fun, all the feels. So that's me. I believe JohnMichael's next.
Yes, I am. Okay, so my opinion when it comes to liking stages is pretty much in the same field as Guy, where it's mainly stemming from series that I like. But in general, most of the stages in Ultimate I have fun playing on, mainly because I won't really play them on their regular format. If I do, I'll have hazards off. But you can pick like any Mario stage out of a hat, and odds are I'll really like the stage. Big shout out to Peach's Castle from 64 stage. Well, when it's on like Battlefield or Omega, because that stage is like kind of shenanigans filled when you play it on any other version, or that version is specific.
Hey, you know what's fun? Bumpers to the face!
And also, a big shout out to any of the stages from like miscellaneous games like Hannonbow or The Living Room. And my liking for those stages comes from the fact that there's one song on that stage that's just insanely catchy, and I don't know what the hell Sakurai was thinking when he put it in, but it's such a great song. It's a song from the Style Savvy games, and I can't believe I'm even saying I like a song from those games because I know next to nothing about them. But it's a super like fun song, and it's the main reason I'll ever pick any of those stages. But I like the Pokemon ones too. Pokemon has a lot of great stages, especially the stadium ones, Prism Tower, of course Kalos Pokemon League too. And when I'm playing with my friends, we always tend to pick WarioWare. I hate that. I have like a love-hate relationship with that stage because like the blast lines are so tiny.
Yeah.
Terrible. Animal Crossing ones are great too. Of course, Smash Bros.
Shout out to Animal Crossing stages actually having good music now.
Yes. And there's Dracula's Castle. Man.
I believe this was mentioned before, Castle Siege. I like that stage in all of its forms. If it stays the way it starts off, that's cool. If it changes and I get to fight in the chamber with the Black Knight in the background if you zoom in, or zip over to the Fire Cavern, which I'm pretty sure is the Radiant Dawn's Incandescent Glow chapter, then I'm all about that. No, there's not too much to say about competitive stages. Kalos got mentioned. I really like the layout for that, and the stage looks freaking gorgeous.
That's a great stage.
Yoshi's Island, hell yeah.
Yay!
Even though the slopes on that kind of throw off some different fighters' moves, but it's got your Randall platforms. So, or does that ghost have a different name? I don't remember. Anyway, that's it for competitive. For all the other stages, oh man, like I said, Saffron City and also Hyrule Castle, favorite 64 stages, no contest. Although, you know, Dreamland's awesome too. Melee, I played on the Hyrule Temple the most because playing in that center area, bouncing people off of walls, just
that's where you learn to tech.
Yeah, that's where you learn to tech. So you live long enough to like practice playing the game, and my friend and I mostly played with one friend. For whatever reason, I didn't get to play with my other friends with that one as much, and so it'd always be us versus the computers, and we'd just be playing the Hyrule Temple. And usually we'd do separate one-on-ones, but sometimes we'd all just gather in the center and just have a glorious CF storm of nonsense. It was great. Also, I love that Smash 4 gave us a new version of that, which is here in the form of Kirby Superstar Shoutout Great Cave Offensive.
Yeah.
I love that stage, although I do wish it had changed the top so that there wasn't that top uppermost platform because it messes with the camera too much. But other than that, I love you can ride around in mine carts. You pretty much have to get people to 100% and then smack them into insta-death lava. That stage is awesome. I don't care if some people think it's stupid. I think that stage is great.
It's stupidly awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd do an entire tournament on Great Cave Offensive. Let's be real.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Speaking of another tournament that I want everyone playing Mario Maker.
Oh, I love that stage.
Because that stage, it's the gift that keeps on giving. You don't know what you're going to get. Sometimes you get a really stupid setup that you hate where there's one block on the edge that someone will just camp and teabag on. Other times you get, death lava fields. Other times you get an actually fairly competitive setup with an interesting gimmick or like a pipe in the middle separating the halves. It's awesome. I'm so glad that's included. There's so many stages I know I'm forgetting. But Pokemon stages, they're always great except Poke Floats. I'm not doing Poke Floats.
I wish that stage was an ultimate.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that stage either.
Yeah,
Well, at least,
I don't miss
them
it.
Making a new version of it would have been cool.
Okay, a new version I could see. Boy, I'm triggering the Poke Float lovers. All right. Hey, I'm not. So I'm just not going to join you in loving it. All right.
And I just Yuki tongued her.
What are you gonna do about it? Yeah, I don't know. It'd be better in Ultimate. We'll say that because Melee was not forgiving with grabbing the ledge, and when suddenly the platform is just gone, you're just dead. Yeah, those are all epic stages. I don't know what else to say on that. Gotta play more Castlevania stage, that's for sure.
It's a great stage.
Yo, I love the Castlevania stage.
And
like
from
it.
Brawl, I love Shadow Moses Island. Just as Kirby or Meta Knight, get people up to the edge at 50%, pile drive, boom, insta kill. Love it.
Shout out to that stage and Palutena's Temple for having all those neat little character conversations.
Yes. Oh, I'm so mad that they didn't. I mean, David Hayter was willing to come back for more Snake Codec calls, but Konami's a pile of shit these days. Not only do they not make Castlevania games, and they told Kojima to F off, but they're just too busy making pachinko machines to make good games these days,
I think
guess.
the reason that they didn't record any more codec conversations, if I recall correctly, was because I think the voice actor for one of the characters in Japanese passed away, and Japan is really, I don't want to say uptight, but they're really disrespectful when it comes to the passing of voice actors, that they tend to not replace them, I guess.
Okay, well, at least that's a better reason than I thought, because, for Tales of Vesperia, they just didn't rehire Troy Baker for Yuri Lowell, and they got some other scrub to do a horrible job for his extra lines, so I thought that was the reason for no extra Snake, was just Konami being a bitch, like they usually are these days, but...
Capcom can bounce back with Devil May Cry 5 and Resident Evil 2, then maybe Konami can too, and we'll get a new Castlevania game.
I mean, I hope so. Grant can tell you all about his recent Castlevania craze.
Speaking of that, I kind of wish Ultimate had made some reference to Mega Man 11.
That would have been nice.
Yeah, I don't know, one of the stage themes or something, but Mega Man 11 is a great game. Go play it after this podcast.
I haven't, but I haven't started.
Oh, there's another stage. Thank you for reminding me. Wily's Castle.
Yes.
I wish there was a version of it with the moving platforms, but without the yellow devil. But all the same, still a fun, casual stage, and I love Mega Man games and the music for it.
Every single song on that.
It's nice that it has walls for the characters who can do that. So that's me on stages. There are a bajillion of them that I love, but special shout out to Great Cave Offensive for being the ultimate filthy casual stage, and I love it.
The next time we play Great Cave Offensive DRP, the next time we're playing Ultimate, we're playing Great Cave Offensive.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Alright, So, next question. What other franchises were you introduced to from playing Smash? And I'm going to start this one off because, oh
You're
boy.
gonna steal all of our answers.
Okay. So, the big one, obviously, for me is Fire Emblem. Marth Main. I bought Path of Radiance shortly thereafter and loved it, and the rest is history. After Fire Emblem, I guess the next big one for me is Castlevania. And I've been going on a Castlevania binge, and I'm currently playing Symphony of the Night, and I'm loving it.
Oh, that's such a good game.
I think it probably might even.
What is a man?
I probably might even beat out Rondo of Blood and Super Castlevania 4 for favorite Castlevania game, which is saying something.
After that, I recommend that you play Aria of Sorrow, and then
That's
Dawn
the
of
only
Sorrow.
Castlevania I've played, but that game is beautiful.
All right, duly noted. So after those two, some of the other ones I got introduced to via Smash were Metroid, because Smash 64, F-Zero, freaking Falcon. Let's see, Pikmin, the Game & Watch series. I didn't even know what Game & Watch was until Smash came out. Then there's Rob. I didn't know what Rob was until, once again, Smash.
He's a toy.
Yeah, yeah. So, kudos to that. And I think I didn't know about the Pikmin until Smash either, because believe it or not, I also didn't know about Metal Gear Solid until, I think, Brawl.
Well, to be fair, the only time he was on Nintendo systems exclusively was the NES days. So.
Yeah, and I don't...
There were some ports on GameCube, too.
Yeah, but those were ports.
Yeah.
I mean, back then he was PlayStation for the most part.
And I pretty much only play Nintendo, so anything that's PlayStation or Xbox exclusive is just going to be a no-go for me. I think there was one other franchise I think I was introduced to. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Not coming to me. But yeah, so those are the main ones. So at this point, the Smash Brothers franchise is almost like a Nintendo franchise educational experience for me, because there's just so much I just get introduced to every freaking time. And then in the case of Fire Emblem Castlevania, I'm super grateful because I like those series a lot. So that's me. DRP, I believe you are next.
Right. So Smash has taught me the existence of a good number of franchises, like Game & Watch, but the only one I can say it introduced me to that I started playing because of Smash Bros. Is Fire Emblem. Loved Marth, found out about Fire Emblem releasing 2003 on GBA, and went nuts on it from there until Fates tilted me to oblivion and back, but that's the main one. I mean, I had played Metal Gear Solid, so it's not like Snake and Brawl was a new thing for me as far as like, what is this Metal Gear thing? Mega Man, I'd already known and played that series. Castlevania, I had never played. I've only played Aria of Sorrow, so playing as a Belmont was a first, but not playing a Castlevania game. So for me, it's just Fire Emblem, really.
I also remember that I was introduced to Earthbound via Smash.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can say Earthbound. I forgot. I do love Earthbound, by the way.
I still need to play that game. I want to smack a hippie with a baseball bat.
Yeah, dude, that game is hilarious.
That game is really special.
Earthbound is... I like to describe it as an acid trip.
It really is, especially because the backgrounds during battles are acid trips.
So that's how Ness got his psychic powers. He took drugs.
But yeah, that game... Oh, I wish we had a subspace aspect to World of Light, specifically to bring in Earthbound enemies, so that we could have a bunch of cultists worship the color blue, and then Blue Inkling could just walk amongst them and be accepted. That'd be perfect. But yeah, so just Fire Emblem and Earthbound.
Okay, then.
I mean, I learned about F-Zero, but it's not like I play F-Zero. So.
JohnMichael, I believe you're up.
Okay, so for me, I didn't really get introduced to that many franchises from Smash, because when I was a kid, I was just obsessed with video games and video game trivia, so I like went out of my way to learn about like any one of them that I could. But the one series that I could definitely say that I didn't know anything about was Game and Watch. Because what the hell is a Game and Watch? Like, I saw Mr. Game and Watch in Melee. I'm like, what is that? Like, seriously, what even is he? But
Yeah, he's like old school video games. We're talking like LCD stuff.
yeah, he's like a calculator.
Yeah.
But like even some of the obscure franchises like Duck Hunt I knew about because my family had an NES, and whenever me and my mom would play together, we'd play Duck Hunt or Mario 1, either or. And what else? Oh, I actually have a funny story about Metal Gear Solid because I didn't know anything. That's okay. That's another one along with Game & Watch I didn't know anything about. So in elementary school, when Brawl came out, and well, I had Brawl at this point, but I hadn't unlocked any of the characters. So my friend at the time, he told me that Snake was in Smash, and I didn't know anything about Metal Gear at the time. So when he told me Snake, I thought an actual Snake was in Smash.
Well, then when you unlock what Snake he's talking about, the taunt button.
And I just thought of like a green snake just being on the character select screen for Brawl, and I'm like, huh, that's weird. And Fire Emblem, of course.
It's awesome.
Learned about Ike and Marth and Brawl, and then I got my proper introduction to the series with Awakening. Still love that game. Then Bayonetta. I knew briefly about Bayonetta before she was put into Smash 4, but she was like, her inclusion in the game like really pushed me to play it. And other than that, nothing else really. Not too many series introduced to me from Smash. But the ones that I was introduced to, I'm glad they introduced me.
I love an interactive chat.
All right. Last but not least, we have Guy.
So yeah, I'm sorry I kind of jumped the gun on this a little bit. Like with everyone else, the main one for me was Fire Emblem because it was actually I think the only one I had never even heard the name of before I got into Smash. So I was like, well, what the hell is that? Who is this? And I mean, I got really into Fire Emblem, and I think now I would say it's probably my second favorite franchise like ever after Pokemon. I got back into Zelda. Like I knew about Zelda. I had played a couple of them as a kid, but I didn't really like it growing up. So then when I got into college, my friend got me the Ocarina of Time remake for 3DS for my birthday, like my 19th birthday or something. And I fell in love with it. Ocarina of Time's still one of my favorite games, and I got back into the Zelda series full force. Although my opinions on that series...
It's actually the cover for my 3DS.
Oh, that's amazing. My opinions on the Zelda series, people that know me will tell you, are whack, so I won't spend any time on that. But I'm glad I got back into it. I tried Metroid and Castlevania, although I'm sad to say that I didn't really stick with those two very well. I did enjoy Symphony of the Night, and I kind of liked Rondo of Blood, but I did not like Castlevania 4. I'm sorry to say. And Metroid, I tried the original and Zero Mission, and I didn't like either of them.
I'm not too big on the first Metroid either.
Most people
Super
aren't.
Metroid.
I tried Zero Mission first, and I didn't really enjoy it. And a couple of people that I voiced like what my problems with it were said, "Well, maybe you'd like the original more because compared to Zero Mission, the original is a lot more open-ended and a little bit more difficult." And so they said, maybe you'll like the original more. I tried it, I liked it at first, and then it really fell flat for me. And I feel bad for that, but it is what it is. Not everything works for everybody. Oh god, what else? I still haven't tried Kid Icarus. Oh, that's the I didn't even know what Kid Icarus was before I got into Smash, and I still haven't played any of them. But the original is on the Switch's online thing now, so I'll give it a try at some point.
The original is actually a really fun game. It's a strange game, but it's really fun.
I've seen speed runs of it, and I don't know what's going on.
It's a
'cause I haven't
vertical
played
platform,
it, but I've
which is
seen
pretty
I've
cool.
seen the speed runs of it. So I'll give it a try at some point. I did try. Speaking of the Switch online thing, I tried Kirby's Adventure, and I really enjoyed it.
Kirby's Adventure is a great game.
For the longest time,
remake it too.
people would really get mad at me that I wasn't into Kirby, like legitimately mad at me for not playing Kirby games. And so I was,
How dare you not love Kirby?
yeah, pretty much because people are always like Kirby is like still super wholesome and amazing and adorable, and I'm just like, I've never played a Kirby game. They're like, you demons, what the hell's wrong with you? And
I really hate that mindset. Like, Kirby's like a super cute franchise, but all that like wholesome stuff is really annoying. And like, there's also the idea that there's not a bad Kirby game, but like there are some stinkers.
I'm not a fan of Dreamland 3.
Yeah, that one's not
every
particularly
franchise that
great.
runs long enough is gonna have its down moments. That's just how
Yeah.
it works.
That
People
is
have
the
their
truth
problems
right
with the new
there.
one.
Yup.
When it comes to Kirby, there's only two games I play. I played Superstar, which I love the crap out of, and then there was Kirby 64. I enjoy that one. I like the fact that you can get two different powers and they can mix them together. That was fun.
So yeah.
I particularly like. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I particularly like Superstar Ultra because not only is it like a remake of Superstar, it just adds more. Really is Ultra. It was also the first game I ever 100%ed, so I hold that game
Oh, that's
close to my heart. Either that or Squeak Squad. Those are both great games.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, Sweet Spot is great.
For me, the only Kirby game I played so far is Kirby's Adventure, and I did enjoy it, so I'm interested in trying other ones, but I have a lot of other games on my plate right now, so that'll probably be a while.
Kirby games are never really too long.
Yeah, I've heard, all of them are really short, and Kirby's Adventure took me, maybe 5 hours. I think I beat it in, one day.
Yeah, Dreamland 1 is probably maybe an hour long, I think. Something
That's
like
the
that.
original
It's a pretty
Game
fun
Boy game one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I might
By the
try
way,
that
DRP,
one
what
now.
was the name of that Kirby game we played on the Switch when I was at your place?
Star Allies, which is awesome. And
Yeah, that's
also before that was Return to Dreamland, I think, on Wii. That
Return to
game's
Dreamland
also-
is really fun.
Yes, those games are awesome, especially
Yeah.
with 3 friends.
Star
all played
Allies.
it,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Star Allies has its problems mainly because when it came out, there wasn't really too much to it, and the fact that it was priced at $60, and then Nintendo did what they tend to do these days is release a stream of free content over the course of a couple months. So people didn't really like the game for that. They also thought it was too short, but I haven't played it, so that's just what I've heard.
Well, I only played the full version. The full version's awesome. But yeah, if I paid $60 for the game and then get told, oh, here's some free extra content. Oh, well, here's the content that should have been in the game to start with. But
Yeah.
I could see people being salty about that. But that wasn't my experience.
Not my experience either. Probably.
Plus, it
won't
ends
be.
with a Dragon Ball Z battle, so...
I typically don't have a problem when a game does that because it just makes me want to go back to it. So it's fine. I think Mario Tennis Aces does that too.
So I guess moving on for me, I also got into the Mega Man series thanks to his appearance in Smash, and then people
Nice.
in my group I run on Facebook start talking about Mega Man and saying oh, these games are really fun, you should try them. And I was hesitant at first because I tend to not really love platformers. There are exceptions, and spoiler alert, I'll be talking about one of those exceptions later in the podcast, but Mega Man, I gave it a try. My friend suggested I start with Mega Man 5 because it's supposedly the easiest one. I didn't think it was easy the first time I played it, but
That's very
no, because it's an NES Mega Man.
Yeah.
I've never heard someone say 5 is the easiest, because 2 is the easiest, like, no question.
Yeah, I thought 2 was so much easier. Thank you. Like,
Well, because the Metal Blade exists, so, like...
Yup.
but, so...
And I still haven't played a single Mega Man game yet. I need to get on that.
I played through 5 and 6, and I was okay with them. I took a little bit of break, and then this one day where I had, like, nothing to do, and I woke up super early, I played through Mega Man 2, 3, and 1 all in one day.
I love 3. 3 is my favorite classic one. That game is so good.
Yeah, it should get more
I enjoyed
props.
3. I really liked 2. I was okay with 1 at first, but the late game of it kind of got bullshitty, so I don't think I'll be revisiting 1 anytime soon, but that's okay. I mean, it's the first game in the series that's gonna have problems.
Yeah. The only problem with 3 is the Doc Robot stages. Those are padding, and they're kind of annoying, but
Yeah,
otherwise
they're a
the
little
game's
bit, but
great.
I did like that they were a callback to Mega Man 2, which is something that I don't think
Yeah.
the Mega Man series has really done before, or since. I guess I should say since, but...
Yeah, the Mega Man series does tend to give callbacks to its older games.
Oh, I mean, not in the same way, like, straight up
yeah.
previous Robot Masters showing up in a different capacity. It's like figuring out the new weaknesses they have and all is really fun, unless you just look up what their weaknesses are, which I tried not to do, but... So... And then I went back and tried 5 and 6 again, and I really, really enjoyed 5, and I'm okay with 6. I think, other than 1, it's probably my least favorite, but...
Should check out the X games. Those are great.
Everybody
So
keeps telling me I should try out the Mega Man X games, and I plan to at some point, but I want to do the rest of the classic series first, because I still haven't played 4, 7... No, I played 7.
7 you can
4,
skip.
8, 9.
7... You can skip 8. 7 isn't anything special, but it's like it's worth like one playthrough.
I liked 7. I liked it well enough.
That's alright.
Junkman stage was
I just
really
hate the
cool.
final boss.
So, as someone who's never played Mega Man, here's a question. Which game should I start with? Should I just
2.
start with 1 and go chronologically?
2.
You could start with 2 or 3, but
Okay.
2's the easy.
I guess that depends on if you want to approach it as see how the progression of game design went, or which game is most approachable.
The second one. Which game is most approachable?
2.
Okay.
Or 11.
Yeah, I'd go
11
with their
would-
answers.
I would say 2 or 11.
Oh yeah,
the
there's
reason I say
also
11,
I haven't played it yet.
the reason I say 11 is because it's the newest and it has a bunch of difficulty options. So like there's a straight up newcomer option that'll make it, and it might be a little bit much for you, Grant. Like they will save you if you fall into a pit or something like that. Which
And
But-
since you have a Switch, you should also check out the Legacy collections if you do plan on playing
Yes.
the games, because those are great deals for all the
Yes,
Mega Man
and
games.
if you get the Legacy Collection, like a physical copy of it new, it gives you the download code for the Collection 2, because it's split in half. The first one is 1 to 6, and the second one's 7 to 10, and then 11 is standalone because it's a new game. I have them all.
No, just get a Switch.
But anyways,
If you wanna play the X games and get the collections for those, well, it's
oh
a
yeah,
different
there's the
story.
Mega Man X collection. But anyway, so Mega Man 11 has those progressive difficulty options. It also has a really cool system in it that you can use to your advantage, which I could go into more detail if you do play Mega Man 11 on that. And the other thing I say 2, because 2 has an easier option, and it's pretty simple in terms of gameplay. Like
Yeah.
you pretty much just run and gun.
The first 2 games are pretty simple. Just
Yeah.
Mega Man 1 is a little harder. Well, a lot harder in general, because
Yeah.
2 was really easy.
2 is pretty easy, but I also think personally 2 is better.
Well, you
designed.
say that, but if he does, what is it, Flashman stage first?
Oh no. Yeah, everybody dies to that at least once.
Flashman stage. Oh, you're thinking the Quickman stage. Flashman stage.
Oh,
is
well, yeah,
easy.
Sorry.
Quickman.
That
Yeah, I
sounds
got
like
confused
he does
too.
that first. Rip.
I actually really like to start with Flashman stage, but anyway, Quickman stage and one of the later bosses, that room that you have to crash bomb in, is kind of stupid, but that's like the only part
yeah,
in
that
Mega Man 2
sucks.
that I would say is stupid. So, that's my suggestions.
Yeah, it's
a
quite
great
a
series.
plethora of series that Smash has introduced you to.
And there's one more, and then I'm done. The
Go for it, man.
Xenoblade series. I had never heard of it before Shulk showed up in Smash 4. And then, like, in 2016, I got a new 3DS for myself because the Xenoblade Chronicles remake is new 3DS exclusive. And I tried it. I did like it. I had some issues with it, but I liked it. And then I tried Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I don't like it. And I haven't played S.
Knew about Xenoblade beforehand, but never really interested me.
I was really happy when Shulk was in 4. I was disappointed by his performance, but I like the fact that he was even in it to begin with, because I had played it for the Wii, and that was a lot of fun. I still enjoy that game. It's super long, but I mean, it's fun.
Yeah, it's really insanely long. I think it's part of... it's more of a personal issue of mine than anything wrong with the game. I tend to prefer shorter games that I can replay easier, so like 100-hour RPGs, even though RPGs are my favorite genre, I don't tend to like the super long ones.
At least it's not as long as Dragon Quest VII.
Oh my fucking god, don't get me started on that game.
So we won't! Let's move on!
Yeah, no.
All these peeps and their Xenoblade, and I'm just thinking back to PlayStation era Xenogears.
I've never
I
played,
think there is some relation.
There is a relation there. They're made by the same person. They have some loose connections. Basically, the whole...
Is it even the same company anymore? Like, who makes Xenoblade?
I think so.
It's Monolith that makes it.
Well, no, the old Xenogears
Okay,
were
so
made
is
by...
that a Square subsidiary?
It's not, but the guy that makes it used to work for Square Enix. In fact,
Okay, that makes more sense.
One of the old Xenogears, I can never remember if it's Xenogears or Xenosaga. One of those two was actually the original proposed concept for Final Fantasy VII.
Oh shit!
Wow.
And then they said no, but they let him go make it like his
There's
own
even
thing.
a Xenogears reference within Final Fantasy VII.
Yes, there is.
So,
Which I won't
so
go
yeah,
on too much about because I don't want to spoil anyone who hasn't played Final Fantasy besides 6. Grant.
yes, I'm gonna play 7 next. Moving
No
on.
pressure, just saying. I don't want to spoil you.
So Xenoblade Chronicles was made by Monolith Soft, and according to Wikipedia, it was originally owned by Namco.
Ooh, that's
I didn't know
interesting.
that.
Yeah, and it's currently owned by Nintendo. Yeah.
So yeah, Smash introduced me to like the character Shulk because I knew Xenoblade existed, but that was the extent of my knowledge. But I haven't played it yet, so I didn't include it on my introduced and then played list.
According to this, Monolith Soft's first project was the Xenosaga series, a spiritual successor to the Square-developed Xenogears.
Xenogears is the one that I'm thinking of then. Yeah, Xenogears is the one that was going to be Final Fantasy VII. And sadly, they also made them kind of rush it. Xenogears is kind of notorious for literally being unfinished, unfortunately.
Oh, that sucks.
Like
the quote. Non-spoiler edition is there's a reference they write at Xenogaius, and then there's a line about it's like a prophecy that it would be a great creation that would be overshadowed by its predecessor, aka Final Fantasy VII.
Which is exactly what happened. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Xenogears, like the whole disc 2 of the game is literally just like the story text. There's no gameplay anymore because they.
What the hell?
They rushed
That's
it.
crazy.
They made the team rush it out, and so they couldn't, finish designing it, which is really a shame. I mean, people love the game despite that. It's kind of a cult classic, so I still am interested.
I played it. It's great
myself, and I would say anybody who's interested in gaming history should check it out. But
that thing about the second disc not being any text, that kind of like very loosely reminds me of the Sword Quest thing that happened with Atari. If you guys don't, I'll briefly explain. They had
sounds familiar.
For Atari 2600, they had Sword Quest, Water Quest, or whatever those games were. They had a contest where you had to get like a certain high score and then send it to Atari, and then you'd win like a bunch of stuff. But the contest never finished, so all those like precious items, like a friggin' crown and sword, like actual ones, were like. Is lost because the fourth game, Air Quest, was never officially finished or released. So, whoever bought Atari at the time just has those like laying around.
oh wow,
Yeah, it's a crazy story.
wild things that happen in gaming. Wow.
And I know that because of James Rolfe. Thank you, Angry Video Game Nerd.
So, do you have anything else to add, Guy, before we move on?
He's dealing with phone strats.
Okay, that's a no. Moving on to the next question. If you got to add 3 new characters, so this could either be a pretend DLC for Ultimate, or you can pretend it's for a new future Smash. But you get to add 3 new characters to a Smash Brothers game. Who would they be and why? DRP, you're up first.
Are you sure you're brave enough to start with me?
Yes.
Alright then, you get what you ask for. Alright, so...
Oh boy, I'm most excited for this
You
part.
know those people, when there's the Smash ballot, what character do you want? And they want to reference this wonderful old RPG character who's obscure and has no modern marketing value. But they want this character because it's from their favorite game of all time, and the character kicks ass, and he belongs to Smash Bros, damn it. Where my Gino at?
Oh, God.
Yeah, Gino!
Mario RPG is my favorite game of all time. It really is what got me into role-playing games. And Gino is my favorite supporting cast RPG character ever. And he would be an excellent addition to Smash Bros. Because we just finished discussing what games or what series did you get introduced to by obscure Smash Bros. Characters. What the heck is an Earthbound? I don't know, but this NES character is definitely unique, and let's give this game a try. Oh man, this game's awesome. Gino is that obscure character.
Are you sure you mean Gino? Not heart, music note, exclamation point, question mark?
Yeah, but that's hard to pronounce. So. But glad you beat me to that reference, but yes. Note, heart, exclamation point, question mark.
But you can just call me Gino.
Just call me Gino after the doll. Also, if you think about it, Capcom and Konami have a lot of representation.
They do.
Square? Where you at?
Yep.
You've got Cloud, but they could have so many more, and I know other people will get to those other Square characters, so I won't say them. But Gino is an SNES icon. And really from a very transformative moment in Mario's history, because that game was the last time before Mario had a voice. And yet it was the first really 3D experience for Mario, and it blended RPG and platformer the way Smash Bros. Blends platformer and fighting game. So from that historic perspective, I think there actually is a case for Gino. But I'll just briefly go over movesets. You've got B for Gino Beam. Up B can be Gino Boost, get some flashy arrows to just hyper jump him up there. And then you've got his blast and flash options for side B and down B. And then each of his other moves can be all the different projectiles he finger bullets for just regular A jabs. F tilt turn his arms into rocket punch.
Oh,
Transform both his arms into his double star gun final weapon for his F smash. And of course, the whirl being the final smash. The character makes him the character is already made. Just program it into the game. So yes, I'm one of those hopefully less annoying than other Gino hype fans. And that's my top pick. I don't care that he has no marketing value from a fan perspective and gaming history perspective. He'd be a great addition.
It would be crazy if he got put in.
It would blow my mind. Some people have joked that Sakurai will give us a character and put in Mallow.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Mallow. Mallow's
Conflicted feels intensify. Mallow might work. I mean, he finally is getting magic characters to work out with Zelda.
I would lose my cool if Gino. I don't know what I'd do if Gino was announced.
Well, I guess I would have a new main. I try not to get my hopes up because
You'd have to buy a Switch.
it pained me when Gino was a Mii Fighter costume or a Mii Gunner costume in 4. And I'm just like, I mean, at least he's an overpowered spirit in World of Light. There's at least that. Anyways, Gino, my top Keck pick. For other picks, I want to go to other franchises I'd like to see more representation from. I'd love to see, as mentioned from Project M, Knuckles the Echidna from Sonic.
That'd be nice.
He's a different character than Sonic, but still gives representation for a series that has been in Nintendo's pocket since the GameCube era. It would make sense to have him. He's got the gliding mechanic, really heavy-hitting smash attacks could be his thing. He'd be able to climb up walls instead of wall jump.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
I mean, they did that for PM, and I don't think they finished making the character. He seemed underpowered, but character concept I think is awesome. And then for my third pick, I'm not particular which series or which character, but I think we need more villains. I love that K. Rool is in the game. I love that Ridley is in the game, even though I don't play Ridley. My brother does. I'd love to see either a Dr. Wily or an Eggman.
Oh, I'd love Eggman.
One of those characters I think would be fantastic because, both of them control mechanized hover floaty things and can transform them and send out saw blades or mechanical arms to punch people. Kind of like Bowser Jr., but less suck. So those are my 3 picks, would be Gino, Knuckles the Echidna, and then another villain from Mega Man or Sonic.
I would love it if Gino were in Smash. I would. The crap. Gino is amazing.
And Square would have another rep.
Yeah, maybe Square would realize, oh hey, we're actually buy our new games because of stuff we made 20 years ago. Maybe we should make good games again. Just saying.
Hashtag make Square great again.
Pew 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 pew. I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3. I know some people are butthurt about it. I don't know if the butthurt is justified, but
I thought it was a great game.
I'm not into Kingdom Hearts, but I will say Dragon Quest XI was amazing.
Okay. Well, I'm
Can't
glad
wait
they
to buy
make
that
some
on
good
the
games. Because for the later 2000s, oh man, those days were dark for them. So those are my 3 picks.
Those are some great picks. I was kind of
Damn
surprised.
right they are.
I thought you were gonna put Yuri from the Tales games on here.
I did forget to mention. Yeah, I would like to see a character in there with Tales. I don't know how many of you have played Tales games, but Tales of Fantasia started in '94 on Super Nintendo, so Kless is an option. I know a lot more people got into the series when Tales of Symphonia came on the GameCube, which is not, the best Tales game, but it definitely got more people interested in the series, so
Finally,
Lloyd's an option.
said it.
It said which?
Tales of Symphonia is not the best. I didn't like Symphonia, sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm not offended.
I haven't
I
played
thought
it, but
it was a fun game I put 80 hours into, but objectively speaking, it's not the best designed, and I'm okay with that. It got more people into the fandom, though, and Lloyd does have 2 swords, so, you want to complain about sword use here. Power level has been doubled from 100 to 200. And then Yuri Lowell, because I want to say the greatest JRPG protagonists of the 2000s are Ike and Yuri. And Yuri's now on a Nintendo system. And hell, if Joker can make it, why not Yuri Lowell?
I haven't played a Tales game, but Lloyd would be cool to see.
Sorry.
And Lloyd was in Super Smash Flash, so
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
I used to play as Lloyd all the time in Super Smash Flash.
Yeah, and he plays really well, doesn't he?
Hey, he's fun as hell.
I was gonna say I haven't even played a Tales game, but I already love Yuri just from what I've seen of him.
He's so badass. There's actually Smash 4 mods that my brother applied, where he turned Roy, he gave him Yuri Lowell's voice, and also gave him a Mega Man Zero skin. So, obligatory Mega Man Zero and Smash reference. But if I had to pick only 3, I'd go with Geno, a Sonic or Mega Man character, and then a Tails character, probably.
All of which are great picks, and I would totally love it if they made it in.
So now we should have JohnMichael go before I keep mentioning other characters I throw in the game.
Boy.
Go!
I'll preface this by saying that when this question got added to the turn order, it was been like racking my brain for like days. I had no idea who to pick, mainly because like I'm just so satisfied with the roster for Ultimate, like, and the fact that and there's also the fact that 3 of the characters that I really like to see are assist trophies: Rip, Shadow, Zero, and Isaac. But I will say, to continue the Square Enix train, I'd really like to see Sora from Kingdom Hearts, even though I feel like that's next to impossible considering it's not only owned by Square but also Disney. So,
Yeah.
what if he were to be put in Smash? I think he could have like a really cool set of moves because those games are really flashy. So, I think there's a lot of
Absolutely.
potential there.
He was in Chain of Memories, even though GBA version of that sucks.
I mean, I'd rather play that than the PS2 remake. It's kind of wonky, but anyway. And if not Sora for another Square representative, I'd like to see Erdrick from Dragon Quest III.
Yes.
I think Dragon Quest is long overdue for a rep in Smash, and I think he'd be a perfect pick. If not, then maybe I don't know. Yeah, just him. Honestly, he should really be in Smash.
What system was Dragon Quest 3 on?
The
It's
original
on the
NES.
NES.
Oh wow, we doing Simon levels of throwback. All right.
And it was ported to mobile and Game Boy Color.
And the Super Famicom.
And the Super Famicom, right. Anyway,
Yeah.
my next pick, well, I had so many picks in mind. Originally I was going to say Dante from Devil May Cry, Steve
Nice.
from Minecraft, but there's one pick that I just really would like to see in Smash, and that's Paper Mario. Because, oh my god, Paper Mario series is just fantastic. Well, other than Sticker Star, but I love the Paper Mario series. Thousand Year Door is one of my favorite games of all time. That game's fantastic. He could be so different from Mario because he uses a hammer and other types of moves. Plus, he's paper. It'd be funny to see. His up B could be like him turning into a paper airplane.
He could literally stick to the screen when he does the fly off the top and land on the front of the screen.
Yeah, oh my god, that'd be so great. And my next pick, a little bit obscure, but I'd like to see, maybe, well, okay, so recently there was a new Monster Boy game, which is a spiritual successor to the Wonder Boy games on the Genesis, so I'd like to see him in Smash, if anything, just like any other, like, Wonder Boy representation, because I think it's a really fun series. Plus, it gives Sega another rep, which I think they kind of need, because Bayonetta isn't a Sega representative. She's a Nintendo representative. Bayonetta 2 is Wii U exclusive and Switch. Only Bayonetta 1 is owned by Sega, so yeah. If I had to concretely pick 3, I'd say Sora, Paper Mario, and then Wonder Boy.
Wow, I don't even know what a Wonder Boy is.
It's an obscure series, and it kind of got revived because Wonder Boy 3: The Dragon's Trap was remastered for Switch. Pretty fun game. And then a separate company made a spiritual successor called Monster Boy and The Cursed Kingdom. Also a great game. If you like platformers, that is. It's a
I
Metroid
like
game.
platformers.
It's a really, really unique Metroidvania series. And Guy, I think you might like it because it is similar in some ways to Shantae, being that you can like transform into different animals. So
Ooh,
check it out if you're interested.
that is interesting.
So yeah, those are my picks.
All right, Guy, you're up next.
Speaking of Shantae, she is
Aha!
I
my.
wonder what he's gonna say.
Called it! I knew you were going to say Shantae!
Like I said earlier, I usually am not crazy about platformers, but there are exceptions. Shantae is the #1 exception to that rule. I love her series. These games are just so charming and bright and colorful and funny and fun to play. And Shantae herself, I think, what she brings to the table in terms of Smash as a representation of gaming is she is an indie icon, arguably the biggest. Some people would argue Shovel Knight is bigger, but Shantae's been around since 2002. She's always been on Nintendo systems. She's, in fact, her next game in the series just got announced the other day. And I think she deserves the spot for that reason, and playing in Smash, she would be such a fun, unique character. I can't even begin to imagine how they would put her in the game. Just because.
And she has purple hair.
She does have purple hair, which she uses as a whip to attack people.
More whips.
She's. So, like.
Join the Belmont
I'm
Club.
tired of how many whip characters are on this bus.
So, like, and one of her gimmicks is that she has a bunch of different animal transformations that she takes on when she does a different dance, because she's a belly dancer. That's what she's based on. So, like, they could give her any combination of her animal transformations to make an amazing moveset. They could give her elephant transformation for a side smash. They could have her monkey or harpy version be the recovery. Like, they could just totally go wild with how they put her in the game, and
that is true.
I want to see how they would do it.
Shantae is my favorite Belmont.
Well done, Ollie. Well done.
Applause.
Oh man. No, like, seriously, like, Shantae I think she would be such an amazing pick. And funny enough, I discovered her series because of the Smash 4 fighter ballot, where there was this huge uproar to put Shantae in the game, and her development team even, like, went and offered Sakurai, like, their assistance in, like, making skins for her, making a moveset for her. If they were going to put her in anything they needed help with, they were willing to do it. And
wow.
Sakurai did actually meet with them in, like, 2015 or 2016 or something. Not much came of it, as far as we know, apparently, but there is still a chance she'll be a DLC character, and I am hoping and praying.
Very possible.
So, I mean, she and the antagonist of the series did get in as spirits, which makes me super happy, but I would love to see her become playable. Next,
For the record, guy, I totally called it that you were going to pick Shantae.
I mean, it's no secret. Every time most wanted Smash characters come up, I'm on there like, give me Shantae. The next pick, I was gonna say Erdrick or some other Dragon Quest rep. It honestly doesn't have to be specific, but JohnMichael brought up Erdrick. I think Erdrick is the one that gets focused on, is because Dragon Quest III is one of the biggest games in history, and it's such a... Erdrick, like, represents that game and really represents, like, what RPGs are and would be going forward from when his game was made. So, but it could be any number of Dragon Quest representatives. I mean, you could put in Bianca, you could put in Nera, you could put in Eric, you could put it, like, anybody.
Yangus.
Yangus. I would love Yangus. Like,
What I was about to say, what about Yangus?
Dragon Quest VIII is an amazing game. But, like,
I haven't finished it, but I did like what I played.
I won't spend too much time on the Dragon Quest thing, except Dragon Quest does need a representative, because one of Sakurai's own statements for Smash is representing gaming history. So why is the original RPG series completely absent?
Yeah.
Like,
series is an innovator.
This genre would not exist without Dragon Quest. Final Fantasy gets representation, and Final Fantasy wouldn't be there without Dragon Quest. Pokemon wouldn't be there without Dragon Quest. Like, so much of gaming, not even just RPGs, takes inspiration from Dragon Quest.
And here's a Westerner, I have no idea how important Dragon Quest is.
A lot of people
I just know it's bigger in
don't,
Japan.
because for us Western people, Final Fantasy latched on more, so Square Enix kind of pushed more of their marketing as time went on to Final Fantasy. It's a common complaint that they kind of ignore Dragon Quest marketing in the West, but it does so well in Japan that it keeps going.
It's crazy popular in Japan.
Like, when Dragon Quest III released, it released on, I think, a Tuesday. It was some day during the week. And like the big cities in Japan basically shut down because everybody skipped school and work to just go wait in line to buy the game. They passed
Oh my
a
God.
law that Dragon Quest games cannot be released on a weekday because of this.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
And they like that is how big Dragon Quest is. It's like it is the series in Japan, and it's not like it's super obscure in the West, but it is smaller than its brother in Final Fantasy, because Final Fantasy, for whatever reason or another, took on a lot better over here. But anyway, so that's my main thing. Not even just because I love Dragon Quest. I know people that have never played a Dragon Quest game that are like, no, because of the history, it needs to be in Smash. It doesn't matter who, just somebody.
I guess it's because Final Fantasy is, in a sense, I guess the first one, in a sense, is a little bit more complex than Dragon Quest 1.
It is.
It might be a reason that Westerners latched onto it more. So I'm not too sure.
Maybe, but I mean, then we had Dragon Quest 3 and 4 come out.
Yeah.
And another thing that
Even
Dragon
2.
Quest
2
was
added a lot
underrated.
compared to 1.
Oh yeah, it did. Dragon Quest 2 is amazing. Such an underrated game.
I fucking love Dragon Quest 2. Such a good game.
But one of the other things that Dragon Quest has a problem with, like in terms of popularity, is because Dragon Quest 4 did really poorly in the West when it came out. It was the last one on the NES. They didn't localize 5 or 6, which were on the Super Nintendo. So while we got Final Fantasy 4 and 6, we didn't get Dragon Quest
Albeit
5
with
or
their
6.
names changed.
Oh yeah, with the names changed. Because in their effort to avoid confusion, they caused 20 plus years of confusion.
Well done.
Meanwhile,
guys.
with the Kingdom Hearts series, they didn't care about confusion.
They just went straight for the throat.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is the 11th game in the series, because fuck you. But, anyways, yeah, so I think that, like, Dragon Quest in the West missed out on that like, nostalgia-filled golden age of RPGs on the Super Nintendo, so that's another reason. But anyway,
So Shantae, a Dragon Quest rap.
I spent a lot more time on Dragon Quest than I was going to, because JohnMichael brought it up, but I do love the series. So,
Yeah.
my next choice, and this probably won't surprise anybody that I say this, but it might feel out of left field in terms of Smash. I want Artorias from Dark Souls.
I could see
Wow.
that happening.
Bold choice.
And a lot of people that want a Dark Souls rep would probably say Solaire, because he's so iconic and he's so, like, friendly and, but the reason I don't say Solaire is because his kind of friendly demeanor is an outlier in the Souls series. And Artorias, to me, I won't spoil too much for, like, anybody who wants to play Dark Souls, and you should. It's a masterpiece.
Like me.
His themes, his story in Dark Souls is a very, very deep, cutting subversion of the mythological hero, and I absolutely love it to bits. And I mean, yes, he's another sword character, ha ha ha, but he's imposing. His design is amazing. He could have some really killer and flashy movesets. Like one of his attacks is this triple front flip with his giant ass greatsword. Like, I would love to see them represent that in Smash. He's there's a good bit they could do with a Dark Souls representative, and I think Artorias is the best pick.
I mean, I have the Insane trilogy on Switch, so I can play Dark Souls pretty soon. Oh, Cuphead's coming too.
Yeah.
I bought Cuphead, but my computer can't run it. Sad face.
I'll wait to buy it on Switch. I'm excited to play it.
I played it on
I
PC
can't
and I
wait.
liked it. I'm very excited to get it on Switch again. But, I was going to bring up another character because JohnMichael brought up the Dragon Quest thing, but I spent a lot of time on Dragon Quest.
Okay,
Just
then.
a brief tidbit from me before we go on. I would have, to go off on another RPG tangent. It's a little brief. I would have said a Shin Megami Tensei character, mainly Jack Frost, because I love that series, but since Joker is getting in Smash, that's all the representation the series is going to get. I just hope that the series, mainly Shin Megami Tensei, gets some music in Smash.
I still need to play a SMT game.
Play 4. I told you a million times, but you gotta play 4. That game's so good.
The only game at all related to that I've played is Persona 2, so...
I haven't played Persona 2, but I heard it's a really good game.
I enjoyed it. I kind of rushed through it, so I didn't really give it that good of a look, because I was just kind of playing it because everybody told me to play it, but...
Did you play both of them?
No, I only played the first one. The Eternal Punishment, I think, is the one. I get the titles mixed up. I played the first half of it.
Oh, okay. Because I know there's two.
Yeah, there's
Persona 2s.
Eternal Punishment and Innocent Sin are the subtitles, and they're like two halves of the story. I don't remember which one is titled which. I just know I played the first half.
Mm-hmm.
So, as another quick aside before we move on, since I didn't want to spend as much time on Dragon Quest thing as I did, people, for whatever reason, the Smash fan base is just completely against anything Fire Emblem related. I want to see Celica.
Celica
Nice
would be
choice.
nice.
And
I like Alm because I love Alm, but Celica would be cool.
I love Alm to bits, and he would be awesome, but the reason I say Celica, not even just because of the difference in gameplay she can offer compared to Alm, the reason I say Celica is because she represented a huge step forward for, like, protagonists in gaming. She was a very early female protagonist in gaming, which I know, like, that kind of diversity in gaming tends to be a sensitive topic these days, but she pushed forward, like, the idea that anybody really, like, any kind of person could be a protagonist in a video game. It all depends on what story is being told, and Fire Emblem Gaiden is one of those games that pushed forward gaming as a storytelling medium to begin with. Like, we, as Westerners, don't really think about it that much because we didn't have Fire Emblem back then, but a little known fact, Celica herself is specifically cited as an inspiration for Terra from Final Fantasy VI.
I did not know that. That's
Like,
crazy.
Kaga and Sakaguchi
That's
were good
wonderful
friends, and there's an interview of them talking about their projects, and I think Sakaguchi said that one time his wife had to take away his Fire Emblem games so he would work on Final Fantasy because he was playing too much Fire
Oh,
Emblem.
that's so cool.
Like, and there's,
Gaming
I mean,
trivia
if you
is cool.
look at Terra and Celica, there are some similarities. They are both strong women characters that are versed in both magic and swordplay.
Huh? Yeah, she is.
So, like, the similarity is pretty obvious once you realize it. It's just most people don't think about the relation. So even though
And their shoulders are exposed.
yes, they are, and they're both drop dead gorgeous, but so I know people are like, no, Fire Emblem has too much representation. Smash fans hate Fire Emblem. I get it, but for the gaming history,
Meanwhile, they haven't
Celica
played any of the games, but
deserves
business.
the spot. I would love to see her. So now we can move on.
I mean, I like the inclusion of Celica for another Magic user perspective too, because
That would be amazing.
when
Smash-
Brawl came out, they missed the chance to put in Micaiah. Not that I care about her that much as a character, but
They did.
Radiant Dawn had just come out,
Yeah.
and there was no Micaiah. Instead, there was Ike in his Path of Radiance form.
While you bring that up, Smash is really, really lacking mages, and that surprises me.
I agree.
Like,
Well, it took them a long time to figure out how to make them work properly.
I mean, it did, but like for something that's supposed to be representing like all walks of gaming and gaming as a whole, you would think something that's so common to fantasy storytelling would be more prevalent. Which I guess you could
That's
argue
why
is
Isaac should have been in
part
Earth
of.
Magic.
Oh yeah, Isaac for Golden Sun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish we had Golden Sun rep. It makes me sad Isaac's not in. But anyway, so like we have Zelda and arguably Palutena, and Robin, and that's.
I
like
mean,
it.
where's Ganon's Dark Orbs at?
I know,
Accurate
I
know,
Ganon.
right?
Shooting magic
He's a
at you. I'm still
warlock.
waiting for that.
Where's his magic?
I love the interpretation of Ganon as like this big buff bruiser, but like,
Right.
in the
But he should be
Zelda
shooting
games,
Dark Orbs.
Yeah, in the Zelda games he was.
Instead of that Warlock punch.
I mean, that's half of what a warlock is, but like he's got to be big and buff, but he also needs his magic.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of do wish that they had gone more that route with Ganon, but I love him as is, so I can't complain about it too much.
to add on to that bit about Magic, I think they really missed a huge opportunity by not adding more variations for Mii fighters, specifically a mage.
I know, right?
Because they definitely should have done that, like a Mii bow fighter and a mage.
Oh, I would have loved a Mii Archer.
Yeah, it would have been great.
That would've
I don't know
been
what they
amazing.
could do for a third one, but still.
But I agree with that. Like, I'm surprised there wasn't a Mii mage fighter, but... Oh, yeah, more mages in general in Smash. And now we can move on.
Finally.
Sorry.
Move on. Nah, it's all good.
Fantastic discussion,
Just
though.
the what characters you want thing is one of my favorite things to talk about with Smash, so I'm glad we spent a lot of time on
And
that.
speculation is really fun to do.
Alright then. Now it's my turn to pick.
Oh yeah,
I'm
we're still
interested
not
to hear what
done.
you have to say, Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start with the most obvious one. I'm playing this game right now, so I would pick Alucard from the Castlevania
Oh,
series.
yes.
I would
So
love to see
there's a
that.
few reasons. There's a
Alucard
few
can
reasons
use magic,
why.
too.
From a recognition standpoint, he's in the Netflix adaptation, and he's the main character of one of arguably the most popular Castlevania game in the
I think
franchise.
it's
So
safe
he
to
has
say it's the
enough
most
recognition
popular,
among the Castlevania fans to actually make it in. Not only that, but he would actually have a different moveset than the Balmonts, because I totally get why Sakurai made Simon Richter like mirrors of each other. Like all the Balmonts, they pretty much play the same if you played the Castlevania games. They all have the same weapons, they all jump and move the same. But Alucard is surprisingly different. His recovery could be his bat form, which, holy crap, a Castlevania character with a good recovery. That would be nice. He could have his wolf form, or something that I thought that would be kind of cool is he could have his sword familiar. So it'd be like Rosalina and Luma, but instead
Oh my god.
of a
That'd be
cutesy little
hilarious.
star, it's a sword flying at your face that's gonna kill you. So that would be that'd be pretty awesome. Like I said, he wouldn't piss off the people who hate the Balmonts because he plays differently. So he has a lot of potential for different movesets. And I love Castlevania, even though I've only been recently introduced to it. So it's like, hey, let's add a new character, because I would much rather have Alucard than another Balmont. Even though I love Trevor from the Netflix series, I do think Alucard is more fitting and worthy.
Trevor's a
spot.
Chad.
Yeah,
Trevor should just be a skin.
But there would be a fun conversation for a Smash game. I'm going
You
in.
are Treffy now.
You're Treffy now.
Like, I'm gonna make a nickname for myself in Smash just for when I'm playing as a Belmont. Treffy.
Okay, so Alucard is my first pick. My second pick would be Magus from Chrono Trigger.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a really nice pick. That's a really cool
let's
pick.
go. That's why I didn't say any other square characters.
I didn't even think of that. I love Magus.
So the thing is that I would be happy with any of the main cast in Chrono Trigger being in Smash, but I do think Magus has the most potential for a unique and interesting moveset. I told DRP this earlier, he kind of would play like a combination of Mewtwo and Robin in the sense that he could glide like Mewtwo, but he fights with a scythe, which, how many scythe characters do you have? People whine and complain about sword characters? Here's a scythe, motherfucker. So you've got that. He's got all these different types of elemental attacks, which is why I call him like Robin. He's got lightning 2, fire 2, ice 2, just lots of powerful long-range magical moves. You want to talk about a mage character? Well, here's freaking antimatter, bitch. He'll just wreck your day all day long. And again, there's a lot of really potential moves, I guess. His final
Plus,
stats
we get his theme into the game.
and his theme would be freaking awesome. I love the Chrono Trigger soundtrack, so it's like,
Chrono Trigger is such a good game.
yeah, and it deserves representation. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's a Square game,
It
Square
is.
Enix game.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
think
so-
Actually, the
I think
it's
first game
Square.
that Square Enix made when the two companies merged.
So yeah,
Oh,
you want to
cool.
talk about a Square rep? Ta-da!
Fuck
His
yeah.
final smash could be his dark matter move, his most powerful one. That would just be amazing. So yeah, Magus will be a lot of fun. But like I said, I've had a lot of fun speculating on what Frog's moveset could be because
I love Frog.
like he will just grab someone with his tongue and
Yoshi
just,
tongue
cut
to
'em.
sword slash.
Yep, Yoshi tongue to sword slash, or his final smash is just frog squash, where a giant frog just walks up on screen and just like squashes everybody. That would be amazing.
Starting to notice a trend that we're all picking characters that have magic attacks. Need more mages in Smash.
Get on that, Daddy Sakurai. So Magus would be my pick, but really just Chrono Trigger in general. And then last but not least, I would want a Final Fantasy VI rep, whether it be Terra or Celeste. Although Celeste,
Should be Terra for gameplay, but
I would.
Celeste is cool with updated
Although,
voice, proper songs.
Celeste is best Final Fantasy VI girl, so I would rather have her than Terra. But I mean, Terra would be great. Point is, I love Final Fantasy VI, and honestly, I know why Final Fantasy VII gets rep. It's the one that everyone talks about. Or Sabin. Sabin would be another fun one. Just this buff monk character who freaking suplexes people. Turn that into a meme. Or, he just suplexes the whole cast. That'd be awesome. So that would be, or heck, that could be like his World of Light / whatever first player mode introduction is. A train just comes at him and he just suplexes it. But yeah, I would love Final Fantasy VI because more Final Fantasy rep is a good thing. And it's arguably depending on who you talk to, it's the best game in the series. It's at least one of the more popular and beloved ones in the franchise, so...
It is like the most popular up there with 7.
Yeah, so
and it's really good.
So I mean,
I'll briefly...
And arguably.
Yeah, I'd also love to see Squall in there, but definitely a 6 character would make more sense.
Really, I think the point we're making here is Square Enix rep in general. Chrono Trigger, Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, just more Square.
Absolutely.
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
I don't care who it is, just put another friggin' Square character in the game.
I'd throw the Saga series.
Sora was in Smash Flash too, wasn't he?
Yes?
Yeah, he is actually.
Yeah, he does a bunch of elemental changes.
Yeah, because he can use the
That'd
Final
be a good
Fantasy
mechanic.
spells like Faraga, Blizzaga, Thundog, all that stuff.
So yeah, so point is more Square because, it's Square.
More Square,
And-
more mages.
Yeah, and more mages. I think that's the running theme from all of us is give
Yeah.
us magic, Sakurai. And good magic too, not like Zelda.
Wow.
Feels bad, man.
So yeah, so those are my picks. I guess I don't have much else to add, so we'll move on. Unless someone else wants to say something.
I haven't played 6, but I think Terra would be a really cool pick.
I mean, they were gonna pick her, so put her back in, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Options there.
Yeah, bring back my Final Fantasy VI girl. Although
Hey,
if they
you know
put
what?
Celeste instead, that'd be fine.
Yeah, we're gonna put
Super
James Bond.
Smash Sister.
I mean, I'd be
Yeah.
fine with anybody
James
from
Bond
Final
in
Fantasy VI,
Melee or 64, but
But
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I know they're never gonna put Cyan in, but I love Cyan Garam as a character.
I love Science.
And oh my gosh, I would fanboy cry so hard. Anyway,
you need more spirits for Final Fantasy 2, definitely.
okay. So, next section, story time. So, think of some stories that you'd like to share about playing Smash Brothers. I'm going first because I've already had time to think of some fun stuff. So, this one in particular is a team battle. So every time I play Smash with someone, there's always that part where everyone just picks random, and then we just fight each other. So for me, in this particular case, I was playing Melee with some friends, and I got Falco as a random, and I suck with Falco. I suck with the space animals, so I did not know what I was doing. So most of the time, and thankfully it was Final Destination, so I'm on the other side of the stage just camping, just shooting, picking people off, and then smashing them when they come my way. It came down between me and one guy, and the funniest thing was, he literally said he had a vendetta against me. Like, those were his actual words. You could tell his face was getting red, and he was shouting off the top of his
Fight me in
lungs.
real life.
Yeah. So, and I beat him, and he got really pissed. Like, the next few matches, he went specifically after me. And I would still, like, wreck him. It was hilarious. I remember just laughing my butt off so hard that people were like, dude, are you okay? Like, are you actually, like, breathe, dude, breathe. Because the whole time I'm just laughing because I kicked this dude's butt with a character I'm not even very good at. To be fair, he wasn't good at his character either, but womp womp. So...
Salty John's always makes
Yeah.
for good stories.
Oh yeah, that's got to be one of my favorite ones that I tell a lot of people. So another quick story. This is one I think you'll appreciate, DRB. I was playing one of his friends. I was playing Nick Shannon, and I was playing with Jason. So this was Smash 4. I was Corrin. This is pre-patched Corrin. So right at the end, it was like we were all down to one stock, and we had high percent. So it's one of those situations where one strong move will finish you off. So Jason and Nick are just fighting each other. I jump right smack dab in the middle, do a down B, and then Corrin's down B counters, hits them both, and then they both die like simultaneously. And Nick got so salty because of that. Ren just does 50 million counters, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he went and bitched because I was on my computer and I'm getting that. Like, dude, Grant is like the worst. He spams core encounter. Just like, that's okay, buddy. I got a story about you too.
To be fair, oh man, Nick has a reputation among me and DRP for being very salty whenever things don't go his way.
Oh yes.
So I mean, I'm pretty sure if either me or DRP would have wrecked him, I'm pretty sure he would have still been pissed. But the fact that it was about a counter and I killed him both just made it all the sweeter. And at least he owned up to his saltiness too. He wasn't even gonna deny it. He's just like, yes, I'm salty. So that one always gets a laugh. So those were mainly the two stories I had. I want to have everyone else get a chance to share. Speaking of stories, DRP, I believe you are up.
Yes, I was about to say, I believe I'm listed next. If someone else has a story that gladly wait. But I guess not, so I'll just jump into it. I've been playing since 64. A lot of each game. Unfortunately, my memory is rubbish, so I only remember a few handful of them. But one of the best moments playing Smash is 1999 on the N64. I am significantly better than my friends, not just at Smash Bros, but at games in general. And we've got this one younger friend who's also named Jason, not the same one from Grant's story. But we're playing at his house, and we're on Hyrule Castle on the left side of the stage. He's playing as Kirby. I think I was Yoshi that Link, but I was not also Kirby, even though Kirby's my main dude. My other friend Joe likes playing as Pikachu, and who his brother played as. He was irrelevant, so it doesn't matter. And so we're a bunch of like 10 to 12-year-olds really getting into it, right? And Jason's flying above me as Kirby, and he just drops into the rock. We're on the left slanty part of the stage. He actually hits me, and he just like screams out, "Yes, I got him!" I didn't die or anything, just hit by a rock. Then he does it again. As he hits me the second time, he just shouts, "My life's dream is complete! I hit DP with the rock twice." And I'm just laughing at him like, dude, your life's dream is to hit me with a move in Smash Bros. And then I just slaughtered him afterwards like it was nothing.
Yes! All the book slaughter.
No mercy.
That is still an inside joke amongst today. My life's dream is complete. So if I'm playing Kirby and I hit you with the rock, I'm going to say that. The next story, probably the funniest thing to ever happen to me in the Smash Bros. Game is playing Brawl. with my buddy Alan. Not Alan of the Fire Emblem group or anything. Different Alan. We are playing on... I never remember the name of it, but that Star Fox stage, the one that rocks back and forth. Playing on that one. I'm playing as Marth, playing as Dedede. And we're just partway through the match. We're doing like 3 stocks, I think. We both were at 2. And he starts to inhale, and I'm in the air as Marth doing his B move. For those of you familiar with how Marth works in Brawl, that B move will slide him forward if he's in the air. Yes, Yuki, your opinion has been heard and is being ignored. Thank you. So I've been muting myself whenever I'm not talking.
Put me in Smash, Daddy.
So he's doing Dedede's inhale, and I'm Marth D. The collision of those moves was the most hysterical thing ever. Instead of Marth stabbing Dedede away, or Dedede swallowing Marth, Marth teleported through Dedede and rocketed off the stage faster than Sonic can run. We had to pause the match to laugh our butts off for 5 minutes before we could even continue.
Did he go out through, like, behind Dedede?
Like, he went through Dedede.
Because something similar happened to me in Ultimate. My friend brought this up to me, like, he told me to go Samus or Dark Samus to charge up the neutral B, and then this had to be like a 2v1. So my other friend, he went Dedede, and then I shot the Charge Blast, and then when the Dedede like inhaled it, it went out through behind him. So it's like he shot out the Charge Blast.
Well, that's what happened to me. Instead of shouting out a Charge Blast, he shot out Marth. Like, I couldn't even be mad that I was some silliness because it was too funny. Smash 4, a whole lot of playing online with Grant and Jason and brother Steven. Also had matches with Nick, who was convinced that his Doc Mario was lit. And I'm playing as Ganon. And, he gets off some damage on me first stock, and then I just stomp him off the edge. He's dead. Comes at me again. Stomp. He's dead again. Comes at me, and just 3-stock him. And he just raged like, no, how can I lose to Ganon? Ganon is such trash. This does not compute. I'm just laughing like, what can I say? I know how to Ganon. Got him. And I don't have any specific stories for Ultimate yet, just kind of this wonderful blur of playing a bunch of matches with my brothers and with Grant, where we're all competitively in the thick of it and alternating who wins. Yeah, Ultimate multiplayer is glorious. So those are the majority of my stories, unless something else sparks to mind.
I think it reminds me of that time in Ultimate where I think I told you guys this already, but I'm playing as Samus, and I just, like, shoot everything. Throughout the course of those matches, too, I was playing different characters. I ended up accidentally killing some other guy I wasn't going toward. And the reason why I know that is because he was like, somebody is targeting me. It's the same person that kills me every time. I look over to who kills him, and it's me, and I'm like, oh, I wasn't even trying to kill you. Man, you must have been total weak sauce. Easy pickings, am I right? I didn't tell him that, but that's what I was thinking. Even to this day, I still find it hilarious that I wasn't even trying to kill him.
Free kills, boys. Free kills.
Yep,
take those.
I wasn't even trying to go for him. I don't target a specific person. I just, like, try to kill whoever's, like, near me. And he gets wrecked every time. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. I believe it's your official time, JohnMichael. I know you shared a story already.
Okay, so one of the earliest memories I have playing Smash was, let's see, around, I think maybe 1st grade. So I was playing Melee. I was at my friend's house playing Melee with him and one other person. Remember the first time he picked Game & Watch, I just looked at Game & Watch and just, like, total awe. Because I looked at him and he's like, what is that? Like, I had no idea what a Game & Watch was. Like, I knew, like, a good amount about video games. and then like I didn't believe that it was like a real character. Like I was just seeing all these characters, like Mewtwo as well. Like I saw Mewtwo in Smash. I was like, wow, that's so cool. I wonder how do I get these characters. Those are like my main memories with Melee. And then with Brawl, I don't remember like a good chunk, but I do remember like non-game related things. I remember like when my brother first came home with Brawl, like the night it came out, we like stayed up late just playing the Subspace Emissary. We'd always play it together. And like I always remember he'd just be better than me because like it was at the point where he actually knew how to play video games and I was just like a little kid. He'd always use Ike and just like counter everything I did. And let's see what else. Yeah, and then for Smash 4 is when a lot of my memories really like came to fruition. Like the one, probably my favorite and just funniest memory playing Smash is when I was playing Smash 3DS, was playing with my friends online, just doing like free for alls, like 1v1v1, and then we were playing on the Reset Bomb Force from Kid Icarus. I was Bowser and my friend was Meta Knight. So he was like standing at the ledge, and I did my down B, and he shielded it. I broke his shield, and he just like died. Like he fell, like off the stage. It was so funny. Like I remember this was like I didn't want to wake anyone up from laughing, so I just like did a lot of silent laughter. And then a lot of my memories for Smash 4 involve like its like time of release, like mainly like when Smash 3DS came out. That was the first time I ever went to a midnight release for a game. That was really like when I met like my friend group and like stuck with them, so I cherished that. And then yeah, just a bunch of Smash playing went on. Oh, actually that reminds me. In Smash 3DS, my friend made a Mii fighter for Sunkern. This was when of course Sunkern's like one of the worst Pokemon in existence. So he made Sunkern like stupid OP with a bunch of like attack equipment, and whoever picked Sunkern when we had customs on would just always win. And it was really funny because it was just a Sunkern like in a tracksuit like fighting. Ooh, excuse me. And then there was one that I made. It was this really ugly Mii, and it was called Blue Waffle. And every time like I would every time I would pick that Mii, my friends would just be like, "Why are you playing Blue Waffle? Just what is that?" And it wasn't even a Mii that I made. It was like a Mii that my friend made that he sent over to me, like such a long time ago. I should actually like send that to Ultimate or like just remake it because that'd be really funny. Yeah, those are the stories that really come to mind when it comes to playing Smash.
Blue Waffle.
Yep, Blue Waffle.
That's a meme in the making.
Yep, it definitely is.
Oh man. That's some mid-2000s humor right there.
Okay. So, I know, DRB, you mentioned that you had a story that you were willing to wait. Did you want to... Oh.
Well, I'd like to hear some of Guy's things first, if he's ready.
Yeah.
I don't really have, like, too many, like, specific moments, like, oh my god, this was the funniest thing that ever happened to me. But, I will say, when it comes to Smash, Chloe wears the pants in this relationship. She kicks my ass regularly. Like, every time I play her in Smash, she just beats the shit out of me, and it... Like, I wish I remembered, like, a specific funny thing that would happen. Oh, well, I do. Now that I say that, I think one time, I can't remember if this was in 4 or Ultimate, but I was playing as Roy and she was playing as Robin, and I dashed at her and she went for Arc Fire to stop me. She loves doing that, and then I don't know what I did. I like jerked or something and started sprinting the other way and just ran clean off the stage. I don't know I don't know why I did that or what happened. I just like dashed towards her. Nope.
That's funny.
And well, one time, this isn't a really funny moment, just kind of a what the fuck. I was playing with my friend Josh Staggs. He's a really good player. He hangs out in my group. Go play with him. He's great. He streams a lot. And one time when he was on a stream, I played him. Like, he was streaming matches with people watching his stream. So I played him, and he's a Marth main. I'm a Roy main. So we're trading blows here and there, going back and forth, going between the two corners of the stage. And then he keeps trying to shield breaker me. So then I love to spam counter, and I've gotten really good at timing it well, and it pisses people off. I landed a counter like 4 times in a row. He just couldn't touch me for like a clean minute of the match. And I think I took a stock with that. Just counter, then like jump back, he dashes at me again, counter, jump over him, counter, and then I think he like tried to forward smash me, and then he got the tipper, but I countered it, and he just went flying. That's the closest thing I can think of to like a funny moment. I wish I had more specific memories. It's a blur.
Yeah, you make so many
If at
great
first you
memories
don't
playing
succeed,
Smash.
keep attacking the guy using.
Apparently, I'm also really good at landing parries in Ultimate. Like, I remember.
Very nice.
I guess this will be my funny story. Like, the first time I played Josh, funny story. He actually bought me my copy of Ultimate. Amazing guy. We were playing because I was like, "You're a lot better than me, and I haven't played Smash in a while. You want to help me like de-rust, learn where I'm at, and figure out what I'm doing wrong, and all that." And he's like, "Sure." So we played some, and I kept landing the parries, the perfect shields, and I didn't know what it was at first because it was a new thing to Ultimate, and this was like right after Ultimate came out. And he was like, "What are you doing? Are you doing that on purpose? How are you doing that?" I'm like, "Doing what?" And he's like, "Parrying." And I'm like, what? Parrying's a thing in this game? So I was like unintentionally good at the game, I guess.
Oh, nice.
That's a nice discovery to make.
That actually that reminds me of something that happens whenever I play with my friends. So there was this clip like when Ultimate first came out of like Fox versus Ken, and then Ken, he just managed to like parry a bunch of Fox's attacks, like that like famous Street Fighter clip, like Moment 37. So like whenever any of my friends and I play Smash, we always manage to like just parry a bunch of attacks, and it's really funny when it happens.
Did something happen? Everybody just went quiet.
Oh, sorry. I couldn't hear you guys for a quick second. I was trying to adjust my headphones. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you
can
now.
hear
It's
you.
just like JohnMichael said his thing, and, like I didn't say anything, and nobody said anything. It was like, did something go wrong?
Yeah. I couldn't
I was
hear you
swallowing
guys
my
for
feed.
It was weird because I couldn't hear you guys, and I'm like, oh, something's up, and I was adjusting my headphones, so I can hear you guys fine now, but that was weird.
I've got a few more stories I remembered, thanks to JM here.
Nice.
I'll start with the general stories first, and then I'll get to the specific hilarious moment. These are all from Smash 4. So, as I mentioned in chat when someone talked about Robin, I originally thought Robin was going to be my main before the game came out, because, you know, some swords, some magic, you know, do the timing to get the 11 sword smash attacks in the air, that kind of good stuff. Only to find out that I absolutely despise Robin's dash attack, which is pretty much a prison shank in slow motion.
Prison shank!
So, we started a new game mode with Grant, my brother, and Jason. Everyone picks Robin. Everyone attacks with prison shanks. So we're just dashing across the stage as slowly as Robin runs, dash attacking at each other, and shouting, "Prison shank! Don't drop the soap! Prison shank!"
Can confirm, that was a fun match.
I also recall when, I don't remember part of it, but we did a 99 stock free-for-all Ganons.
Oh my god. Go ahead, that reminds me of
That match was amazing. Unfortunately, the game cut out in around the 30s, and it disconnected us. But man, we got all the sweet Ganon things: the stomp to predicting their move to another stomp, to choke slamming kamikazes, to even pulling out the up tilt. Everything was that match was just pure gold because Ganon.
Was I there for that one? That sounds really familiar.
I think you were, but I wasn't sure.
Because I know we've done stuff like that at the very least. And that's something I would definitely love.
I think
to do.
Alan Kofelt was part of it, and then some other person I don't remember.
I've never played with Alan Kofelt, unfortunately.
Okay, so no, must not have.
But we're totally doing that.
But the memory that I've been saving involves Alan Kofelt, his now wife Natasha. We're playing just 3 of us, and we want to do 4 players. And Nat's decent, but Alan and I are just a little bit better than her. So we originally talked about giving her a low-level computer partner. Well, Nat, being devious, switches the computer to her team, and I switch over to her team, and so we hit start, and immediately it's a 3v1. So it's me as, I think, Ike. I forget who Nat was playing as, maybe Marth, and then a level 1 Little Mac versus Alan's Link or Marth, I forget. Or maybe I was Mega Man. Anyways, we're fighting, and early in the match, Alan jumps off stage. Little Mac dives off the stage. Level 1 Little Mac footstools Alan, and he dies from it, and the Little Mac recovers.
Of all the ways to go down, a footstool from Little Mac.
I'm a level 1 Little Mac, so yeah, that's the ultimate. That's the ultimate disrespect insult. If you ever want to make Alan laugh / feel bad about himself, just be like, "So, I hear you're really good at Smash Bros. Hey, how about that time Little Mac footstooled you?"
To be fair, though, it was a 3-on-1.
I mean, I wasn't really attacking. It was just sort of Nat at a 1, and then he got footstooled. It was hilarious. So yeah, that was definitely the funniest Smash 4 moment.
It reminds me of a time I played Little Mac online against a Mario and for Glory. It was really funny because this guy kept trying to go in really deep to edgeguard me, and the last stock, I ended up dying to the Flood, but then he tried to spike me, but he went really deep for the spike. So I had a stock up on him at this point. So he tried to spike me, but he just ended up going to the lowest part of the stage and dying.
Haha, deserved.
Yeah.
That is exactly why I don't try to spike people, because I know that's what happens to me. I just die. I remembered your 99 stock thing made me remember a story. So I was at my friend's house. We were playing Brawl. This was when I was I was 17 or 18 or something. And we decided to do a 99 stock match, and we were on the Hyrule Temple stage. It was, and it was me and him and his little brother, who's only a couple years younger, not small kid, and we kept bouncing each other off the walls, and there was a moment on our last 2 stocks, we just could not get out of the ricocheting around. Legit, nobody was hitting each other anymore because we were all just bouncing around, and it was sitting there doing that for 5 minutes until we finally just quit out because it stopped being funny. It was, oh man.
That actually reminds me. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, going 99 stock matches always ends up in something hilarious.
Speaking of Hyrule Temple, that reminds me. I haven't really done this myself, but have you guys ever tried the Ganondorf challenge?
What's the Ganondorf challenge?
So the Ganondorf challenge is where you pick a level 9. Well, and specifically in Melee, you pick a level 9 CPU, a Ganondorf CPU, and you go to Hyrule Temple. But before you do that, you have to set the handicap all the way to 9 for Ganondorf, and then you set it to 0 for you, and then you just basically have to try to kill the Ganondorf.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I was AFK briefly to shut windows so barking doggos wouldn't disrupt. Is this World of Light stuff?
No, this was in Melee.
Ah. Melee had some memorable challenges. Giga Bowser and friends.
The Giga Bells are super cool.
Well, anybody else got a funny story? I think I'm done.
Yeah, I don't really have any off the top of my
I
head.
think I'm fresh out of things I actually remember.
All right. So now that moves us forward to the last question of the podcast. What aspects of the Smash Brothers franchise appeal to you? As we all know, Smash Brothers has been around since '99, so it's been around an awful long time, and it's a franchise that continues to bring us back. It's a franchise that we all love playing, and to the point where we're even talking about it on a multi-hour podcast. What is it about Smash Brothers that keeps coming back? And I believe JohnMichael is first up.
Goody. Okay, so I briefly mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. That Smash isn't like just like a game series. It's like a cultural phenomenon. Like, you know, make memes, all the speculation involving characters and stuff like that. So it's always fun to like be like a part of that hype, because people just get really creative with the things that they come up with when it comes to like an upcoming release of the game. And there's just so much hype surrounding like, oh, when's the next direct? Who's going to be the new character revealed? Like, is it going to have a story mode this time? And not only that, the series is just really damn fun. Like, even if you're playing by yourself with friends, I think like the fact that it's Nintendo characters or just gaming characters in general, like so many like precious and beloved characters that you just get to play as and knock each other like the hell out. Like, and the fact it's just such an ambitious crossover too. Like, I'm sure that like when Smash 64 was like first revealed, people were just like, wow, I get to beat the hell out of Mario as Samus Aran. That's so cool. So I love it for like the culture surrounding it, well, other than like salty Melee fans, but that's another thing. But I love it for the culture surrounding it for the most part, and just the nature of it being such one big ambitious crossover.
And they say Infinity War is the most ambitious cultural crossover. Oh, dang it, DRP, you got me!
Oh damn.
Well done.
Smash has what Infinity War doesn't: Piranha Plant.
Yes!
Quote of the day.
Yo,
You got Groot, we have Piranha Plant, baby.
I'm gonna interrupt there. I guess there wasn't really a good time to mention this. I was one of those people that was salty as shit when Piranha Plant was revealed, and then when he came out and I actually tried it, it was fun as hell.
He's super fun.
He's really fun to play.
Well, Guy, you are up next.
Yeah, so
might as well take
I guess, yeah, it's my turn. I've touched on this throughout the podcast because it's played into a lot of my opinions and talking points. I'm the kind of person who views gaming as a lot more than just mindless entertainment. I'm the kind of person who sees gaming as an art medium, arguably the greatest art medium, and the thing that Smash
Definitely
represents to me is this. It represents gaming history and this love for what the medium is in all of its forms, because a lot of games are just little more than mindless entertainment, and there's nothing wrong with that. Entertainment is great. We need it. But there's also a lot of games out there that tell deep stories and want to impart specific messages and thoughts on their players, and there's stuff in between, you know, games that like have clear themes, but at the end of the day they're gameplay centric. It's more about what you're doing than what you're being told, and all of that comes together in Smash. there's so many icons throughout gaming history, so many series and characters that have contributed to what gaming means to everybody. Not, I mean, people that view it a lot, less deeply and scrutinize it less than I do. They relate to this game, this series, and these characters the same way I do. And I think it's really special that a series exists like this that brings all of these different ideas, these thought processes, these hopes and dreams and all of that together. That's what Smash means to me. It goes so much far beyond just being a unique take on a fighting game. It goes so much more than just being a party game or a competitive game. Beyond all of that, that's what Smash means to me. And that's why I keep coming back and keep playing with people that I went to school with, the people I met online from all over the world. That's what makes it special. Hello?
Sorry, I had a little trouble.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything for a second.
So yeah, does anyone else have anything to add to that before I take my turn?
To add to what you said about, it's like gaming as a whole, like, I think one of the questions asked for, this podcast, like, what series, like, introduced you, to Smash, I think that's one of the great things about the series in general, because not only does it, like, bring you closer to, like, characters that you grew up with, Mario, Link, stuff like that, it like, brings you to things that you didn't even know existed. If, like, you find out about it, that might just be something that really relates to you or just touches you in general.
Exactly.
But I think that the series really has that magic of just bringing you closer to gaming in general.
I'm very glad you brought that up, because, I mean, we all talked about it. Like I said, we all said Fire Emblem was brought to us by Smash. I mean,
and one thing that brought us together was Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
And by extension, Smash.
So I'm glad you said that. That's a very good point. Yeah. All right, Grant, your turn.
So, alright, so prior to Smash Brothers, the only other fighting game I'd really played was Street Fighter, and don't get me wrong, I enjoy Street Fighter, but I think Smash just has much better mechanics in general. Smash Brothers is one of those games where it looks surprisingly simple on the surface, but it's got a lot of room for complexity and depth, while also masquerading as a fun party game. That's pretty incredible when you stop to think about it. It has a lot more going for it in terms of just content, in terms of things you can do. It can be super fun to do challenges like the Ganondorf challenge, or 99 lives Ganondorfs, or you can have you can start out with 300%, or you could do it totally serious and competitive like what they do in tournaments. And you can have a lot of fun either way. Both are totally amazing. Not very many games can provide such an amazing breadth and depth of experience like that. It's a party game that can bring people together. It's, as far as I'm concerned, it's an educational experience because it just introduces you to so many other amazing franchises. It's kind of crazy to try and think about what my life would be like if I didn't have Fire Emblem and all the people I've met from just that. Now I'm being introduced to Castlevania and the awesomeness that entails. So, yeah, I mean, it's just got everything for everybody. It can be casual, but also hardcore and intense. It can be funny and hilarious, and it can get you friends. Not many games can say that. Smash Brothers.
And friendship's faster than Mario Party and Mario.
That's true.
And that's coming from the guy who got super salty about Mario Party when we last played it.
Hey man, every time I got to that damn star spot, the price was triple, okay?
You're welcome.
Horrible luck when it comes to Mario Party. At least I'm good at the mini games.
Yeah, when you win every minigame but lose by a landslide because everyone steals your stars, feels bad, man.
Anyway, yeah, so Smash Brothers is just the ultimate package, and
Ultimate.
again, it's a really fun game to play, even just from a gameplay and mechanic standpoint. Just the stage, like getting on the stage, getting back off the stage is a huge thing. Yeah, it's a lot more fun than even Street Fighter.
It's a series that can be imitated but never duplicated, because you see how like bad PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale turned out. Like, it's truly just a unique experience that really it's just like crazy. Like, just what it's done for gaming in general.
Exactly. All right, DRP. I believe you will finish us off.
Oh, I'll finish you, alright. With a Hordia! So, everyone here has said some excellent things about what Smash Bros. Has done for us as far as revealing new series for us to play and meeting people that we become friends with. Because of Smash Bros., I got into Fire Emblem. So did Grant. We ended up meeting in real life and hanging out this past Christmas. It was easily the best part of my year. So
That's part of mine too, buddy.
what everyone said about just the, not just game experience, but just life experience that has come from playing this game together and coming together to talk about it is pretty drastic. As far as what the franchise appeals to me, besides that, yeah, it's all my favorite Nintendo characters. I get to play as my childhood hero Yoshi when I was younger. I get to play as Fire Emblem characters and stab people with swords. And I get to be Ganon, finally using a sword now. I get to be Snake again. Besides all the wonderful trinkets and the shiny things that Smash Bros. Excels in. It excels in offering everything, a gajillion items that all do different things, and most of which are fun and worth using, and some of which are total bullcrap.
Shout out to the special flag.
Yeah. With everything, as I mentioned earlier, this is not a fighting game. This is a fighting platform. And I make that distinction because I've played a fair bit of other fighting games. I've never been super into fighting games the way I have been some platformers, some RPGs, things like that. But I've played Tekken. Actually, I haven't played Street Fighter, but I have played the ArcSys games fighters, which I love.
That's
Guilty
a great game.
Gear. Freaking love Guilty Gear. They did Persona 4 Arena, which I got to try out a little bit. My brother got really good at that. So fighting games have a lot to offer. Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So those games are a lot of fun, right? You get to be a character, you get people up, hopefully. The thing is, I've noticed a lot of fighting games, like Tekken or even Soul Calibur, they involve a lot of button pressing. You have to memorize your inputs. But their approach options are really limited. You can move in, you can block, you can just attack while standing. Some of them let you jump, maybe. That's about it. And once you start getting hit, you can put the controller down. If you've ever played Marvel Capcom 3, I love the game, but offense is so stacked and defense is so piddly that when you start getting womboed, there's really no reason to even try doing anything because you're just getting comboed 0 to death, or at least 0 to like 33% of your HP. So something great about Smash Bros. Is how interactive it is the entire time. If you're putting on the offense, you have to think through all your opponent's options and either react or predict. Are they gonna jump? I hit them on the ground. Are they gonna stand up? Are they gonna get up attack? If I attack them, will they shield? Will they counter? And there's so much more interactive options instead of just my fighter comes up to you and I press square, triangle, over, circle, square, and you get wrecked for a bunch of damage. Rinse, repeat. So as Grant mentioned, the simplicity of the control. You've got an A button and a B button for your attacks and a bunch of directions. But there's so much more that you can do with that than the more complex inputs of normal fighting games for the most part. And when you're on the defensive, you've got options, which a lot of fighting games don't really have. Even if you're getting wrecked, you at least get to influence the direction you go in with DI. And there's a lot to be said for that. You're always playing the game. And then to circle... I'm almost... Sorry. Just to circle back, and so from a fighting game perspective, it has that going for it. It's a platformer at heart. Smash Bros. Invented this game style. Before then, you had platformers, you had fighting games. Never the two shall meet until Smash Bros. Comes along. And Smash Bros. Can take any character and make them playable. Doesn't matter who they are.
Like a piranha plant.
Like a piranha plant. like a frickin' Animal Crossing abomination. I mean,
or a friggin' toy that was sold for the NES.
Yeah, you can take anything and make it playable in the Smash Bros. System. Originally, Smash 64 was just going to be wireframe fighter.
That's right, yeah.
And then they're like, we can totally, market this with our mainstay Nintendo characters, and bada bing, it's amazing.
Went a long way.
So I'm glad we didn't just get wireframe fighters, because having the mascot familiarity and the gaming references is just so much better. So that's why I keep coming back. It's simple inputs, complex outputs, fun every time. There's like a zillion game modes. It's not just a fighting game where the only mode is punch them. If you want to do a match where you have like 0% knockback and a bajillion Pokeballs, and you're playing HP mode, and you just have to kill them using Pokemon summons, you can do that. So that's some of what's the most amazing of Smash Bros. All the options, all the ways to play, by yourself, with people. It's not the same thing every time.
I'm actually really happy that you brought up aspect and the thing about controls, because Smash is like the first fighting game I ever really properly played. And like, one thing I do remember about the first time I ever played Smash is that the first time I played it, I pressed up on the analog stick, and that made me jump. And I was really like confused because I was so used to Mario, where A is the button to jump. But like, and even I don't use tap jump, but like over time, I've just like really grown to love how much freedom you have in controlling your character in Smash. Like, you're always in control. And compared to like actual fighting games, I do like Dragon Ball Fighters and Skullgirls, but like they don't really, they're a little too tight for my liking when it comes to like actually being in control. And that's one thing that Smash is always going to have about it, like that aspect of control and just always being able to do what you want to do with your character. Like, each character's different, and like you said, like it's always a different experience when you go back to it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being part of the podcast. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for inviting me, as always.
And to those 2 or 3 of you in our audience, thank you for being willing to watch us, even if you came late.
Actually, we had
Thank you guys, girlfriend, for sassing him.
Yeah.
She does that.
Podcasts like these are always a lot of fun. That's why I keep doing them.
I did have a lot of fun.
So yeah, I guess with that, talk to you guys later, I guess.
Yeah, thank you, Grant, for arranging this.
Thank you again.
Really great transitions into the topics. That we had a great cast of people to go over things. Thank you again, Guy, for having me on your channel today.
Of course. And DRP,
Catch you all later.
I've heard about you a lot from Grant, and it was nice to finally have like a discussion with you.
A discussion where I'm not being a sassy punk on someone else's channel.
And JohnMichael, I'm glad you joined us.
It's nice meeting you.
I hope you liked being on a podcast, and I would love to invite you on to more if you want to.
Of course, I'd love to.
maybe when we talk about Dragon Quest some, because I still want to do those.
That sounds fun.
But I'll try to get and arrange some of those later. So
I wonder if I should start like Castlevania type of podcast.
Count me in for that.
you should.
That'd be a lot.
That sounds juicy.
That'd be a lot of fun. Because I mean, I have only played a relative handful, but still. So yeah, good times.
Good times were had by all.
All right, team. We'll settle it in Smash. Catch you later.
Catch you later.
See you guys.
See ya.